Views and opinions presented by the host, guests, or callers on this program do not necessarily represent the positions of WMBS Radio.
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to What's on Your Mind. I'm Russ Rhodes, your host. It is open conversation today. I'm looking forward to chatting with you. Give me a buzz on the... where'd my little cheat sheet go? Let me see here. I got to see if I can remember the name here because my cheat sheet's not here. The WVU, Uniontown Medicine Hospital. No, that's even wrong, isn't it, TJ? Anyway, it's the Uniontown WVU Hospital. Phone line 724-438-45. What is it? I don't have my cheat sheet. Where'd it go?
I don't know.
The cheat sheet's not here. Boy, this is Monday, isn't it, TJ? Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is Monday. All right, I'll figure out what the phone number is, and I'll get back to you on that. I honestly can't remember it right now. Oh, well. Hey, what's on your mind? I do have my cheat sheet for this. What's on your mind is brought to you by AR Roofing and Remodeling, K2 Engineering, Coldwell Banker, Laurel Ridge Realty, Hicks and Baugh's Drugstore, and Gary's Auto Sales. All right. Well, that's one thing out of the way here. The other one is going to be my list of possible talking points for today. And again, it is my list. So if there's something else you want to chat about, by all means, give me a buzz. I would love to talk with you. First one, the president says negotiations with Iran are ongoing. And Iran is going to allow 20 cargo ships to pass through the Strait of Hormuz today without fear of being fired upon. So, just interesting. Let's see here. What else is going on? Okay, Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent. Back up a little bit. The administration a week or so back said they are waging war on fraud in the government, specifically dealing with grants and that type of thing. And so in part of that, Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent announced today that, well, if you know anything, if you're in a position to know about fraud that's taking place and might have some specifics, you may qualify for up to a 30% reward of recovered monies. So, if you know of fraud taking place of government money and you report it, whatever the government is able to recover, you will get 30%, upwards of 30% on that. So what do you think about that? Okay, here's one. Secretary of Homeland Security Mark Wayne Mullen was sworn into office last week. And Jimmy Kimmel, host of one of the late night talk shows, which I forget because I don't pay attention to him, in his opening monologue, made a joke, or not, depending on your perspective. But to give you a little background, Mark Wayne Mullen, he's kind of a big guy. And he, apparently he was a mixed martial fighter. He mixed martial arts. He was a fighter. He left college because his father got ill, so he left college and went back home to run the family plumbing business. Now, I don't know all the specifics of that, but he either helped turn it into a multi-million-dollar business, or it was already there and he grew it even more. I'm not sure of the specifics. From there, he went on to serve in the House of Representatives and then became a senator for Oklahoma, and now he's Secretary of Homeland Security. So Jimmy Kimmel, again, made a joke, or not, again, depending on your perspective, about how, the president can't find any qualified people to run his departments, so he had to settle for a plumber running his Homeland Security. A lot of people have taken offense at that, saying, it's the left's perception of blue-collar workers that, well, once you're blue-collar, you can't do anything else. You're looked down upon. And, just you don't belong that in places of authority and leadership. So, what are your thoughts on that? If you are a blue-collar worker, do you take offense at this? At this joke? I'm curious. I mean, I'm in sales, but I've done blue-collar work. My youngest son is blue-collar. I love blue-collar workers. There's times that I wish I'd gone in that route instead of what I ended up doing. I don't know if military, I guess, could be considered blue-collar, I guess. I don't know. So if you do that, then I've got two sons that are blue-collar workers. I don't have a problem with that. It's what makes this country grow and build. So your thoughts. Your thoughts on that. I'd love to hear from you. Let's see here. Artemis 2 spaceship is set to blast off Wednesday evening at 6:24 p.m. It's going to make a trip to the moon and back. It's going to be a 10-day trip. Going to spend the first day in orbit around the Earth, just to make sure all the systems are working. In case something's not, they're close to home. They can return easily. So they're going to spend the first 24 hours in orbit around the Earth. Then it's going to take about 4 days to get out to the moon. They're going to actually go past it before swinging around and coming back home. All this is in preparation for putting man back on the moon. Sometime next year, I believe, is the plan. So your thoughts on Artemis 2 about to take off. We've talked about in the past a little bit schools, public schools, education, the cost of the money that is thrown after it. Year after year after year after year here in Pennsylvania, governors are wanting to increase the spending of public schools. And they always cite our failing schools. They need more money. We even had one governor say to fully fund education, although he never gave us what his definition of that. Out in Chicago. Not sure how many public schools are in Chicago, but they found that in 2024, 80 of the schools in Chicago had 0 students that were proficient in math. I also found 24 schools in the Chicago public school system that had 0 students proficient in reading. since 2019, and here's where the money part comes in. Since 2019, Chicago Public Schools have had a 10% loss in students. In other words, 10% less students going to public school in Chicago. During that same period, there was a 20% gain in staffing. I was reading another story, a school in Chicago built to hold over 1,000 students has like 25 students in the school altogether, with 26 teachers and staff. So greater than a 1-to-1 ratio. That's a failing school system. That money is being poured into the schools with absolutely no return on it. A lot of the blame in Chicago is aimed at the unions. That the leadership of the Chicago Public Schools want to close schools and consolidate. But the unions fight it and oftentimes win, keeping those schools open, keeping their jobs safe. The union has successfully fought against charter schools, limiting the number of charter schools within the school district, has fought against vouchers that would allow parents to send their children to better schools. So if you need a poster child of failing schools, I think Chicago is right up there in that. So your thoughts there. Chick-fil-A. There's a Chick-fil-A in Towson, Maryland. They're trying something. They're saying grab a coop and take the challenge. And what this is you go in with your family to eat, and if you ask one of the workers there for a coop, as in, say, chicken coop type thing, get it? And you put all your phones in this coop, and don't touch them during your entire meal. In other words, a phone-free meal. Y'all get a free ice cream cone. So they just started it, don't know how it's working out, but a 2023 study said 68% of households have a person using a phone during dinner time. As same study, 65% don't like it, and 42% feel it is rude to be on your phone during dinner time. So what are your feelings? Where do you line up in those percentages? So, and then finally, we're going to turn to a little bit of sports. Pirates off to a rough start. My optimism is still there. But Paul Skeens didn't even get out of the first inning on Wednesday. I'm sorry, on Thursday. So, but they leave New York having won yesterday. So they leave New York with a 1-2 record. They are in Cincinnati for a 3-game series against the Reds, and they return to Pittsburgh for their home opener on Friday against the Orioles. And then in the NCAA men's basketball tournament, the Final Four is set. This coming Saturday, Illinois will take on UConn. UConn had one heck of a comeback victory against Duke yesterday to make the Final Four. And Michigan takes on Arizona. The winners of those two games will meet on Monday, April 6th for the championship game. So that's what's on my list here. If there's something else you want to chat about, by all means, give me a buzz. 724-438-4593. That's the WVU Medicine Uniontown Hospital talk line. Both lines are open, so give me a buzz, and we'll start chatting right after this.
The biggest reason Metropolitan Window Company has been in business since 1978 is our huge list of satisfied customers.
John, Maggie, and Justin Schmutzer here from Metropolitan Window Company, Pittsburgh's locally owned and family-operated window and door company for over 47 years.
When you choose Metropolitan Window Company, you're getting expertise and attention to detail from a trusted business that puts your needs first.
You're also getting our exclusive Infinity from Marvin 100% fiberglass windows that are built for life.
The most important part of a window is the framing. Fiberglass frames won't lose their dimensional integrity. They're the strongest, longest-lasting window you can buy.
And right now, you can save 20% and get financing on every window and door product we offer.
Stop by one of our showrooms, visit us at metropolitanwindows.com, or give us a call at 412-655-8411.
PA 1565.
Experiencing symptoms of COPD? Frontier Clinical Research in Scottsdale has been selected to conduct a clinical research study, and participants are needed. All study-related care will be provided at no cost, and no health insurance is required. Compensation up to $2,200 for qualified participants for time and travel. To learn more, call Frontier Clinical Research in Scottsdale at 724-220-5281. That's Frontier Clinical Research in Scottsdale at 724-220-5281.
Hey, you looking for a quality pre-owned vehicle? Well, look no more, because with over 200 vehicles, Gary's Auto Sales is the largest used car dealer in the area. Whether you want a car, a truck, or an SUV, you'll absolutely find what you're looking for at Gary's. Gary's has been in business since 1974. You can visit them online at garysautosales.com, or you can give them a call at 724-626-8080. Gary's Auto Sales. Many miles, many smiles.
Are you looking to list or sell your house? Now is the time to let the professionals at Caldwell Banker Laurel Ridge Realty help you with all of your real estate needs. Caldwell Banker Laurel Ridge Realty has two convenient locations to better serve you. In Uniontown area, 724-437-7100, or in Connellsville area, 724-628-7200, and speak with one of our real estate professionals. Visit our website, caldwellbanker.com. We have been proudly serving Western Pennsylvania area for over 30 years and look forward to helping you with all of your real estate needs. Broker Paul Borge Jr.
Did you know that you have a choice for your physical therapy provider? NovaCare Rehabilitation offers same-day appointments, and oftentimes you don't need a prescription from your doctor to see us. We will make sure that you are treated as an individual and will work directly one-on-one with you to help achieve your goals. You have tried the rest, now try the best. NovaCare, Delaware Avenue in Uniontown. Phone 724-437-0556 to schedule your appointment today.
Welcome back to What's on Your Mind. I'm Russ Rhodes, your host. It is open conversation today, 724-438-4593. Both lines are open, so give me a buzz. No waiting. Alrighty. Let's see here. By the way, Penguins travel to New York Islanders tonight, so they're 7 o'clock game time. You can catch it here on WMBS. And I think I mentioned take the Reds. Pirates play the Reds tonight. Now they're off. They play the start tomorrow. 3-game series with the Reds. So little clarification on that. Hello, welcome to What's on Your Mind.
Hello, Russ.
Yes, sir, Mark. How are you?
I'm fine. I thought I'd fill up the airways and
Sure.
everybody else wants to.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm kind of reminiscing about the moon mission.
Yeah.
Right now, because it kind of reminds what they're doing is I said they're going behind the moon, I guess, but I guess they're going further out in space than anybody has ever gone.
So I think I read like 4,000 miles beyond the moon.
Yeah.
Something like a little more than that. Yeah.
Yeah, because I remember, back to Apollo 8, they were going around the moon and come back, but it was up to the mission commander to fire that engine and go into lunar orbit.
Okay.
If I recall, that's what happened. And because of it, we saw those fantastic pictures.
Yeah.
That one astronaut, I guess he took Earthrise. He took that photograph. And then the commander was Frank Borman.
Okay.
That famous, he read from the book of Genesis in the beginning. You remember that?
I do.
Yeah. And
well,
then
I don't specifically. I remember reading more or less about that.
Yeah, I remember. I was following it. Yeah, I remember.
Yeah.
I remember being around, and I remember he said, "Good night, good luck, a Merry Christmas, and God bless all of you."
Yeah.
All of you on the good earth. And well, Time Magazine crowned them. I guess they saved 1968. They gave them the Men of the Year award.
Okay.
Because if you recall, 68 started out the 10 offensive. Martin Luther King being assassinated.
Yeah.
3 months later, Bobby Kennedy assassinated. And, and here these men, they, just terrific mission. Nothing's ever been done like that.
No.
No. They saved 1968. That's what they said.
So, just a little change here. I mean, it's still space, but kind of getting away what you were going there.
Yeah.
Did you find the space suits that the Apollo crew wear much more cool and neat than what Artemis is wearing?
I got to admit, I think they are.
I mean, it just looks like it's a pair of overalls or something with a helmet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But what gets me also is it seems so lackadaisical about it, this whole thing, too. I mean, they've had a lot of these things blow up on their way up.
Yeah.
I'm not just quite sure about this. And then you've got this, I don't know, what do you call it, DEI?
Well, I mean, I go back again to Apollo, and I forget which astronaut had made the comment. Says, confidence wanes a little bit when you realize that this was built by the lowest bidder.
Yeah. I know about. Yeah, I heard somebody say that. Yeah. Okay. Hey. Okay. The second thing. Well, of course, I got my clock here set to go off at 11:30, so I can catch Jimmy Kimmel's monologue. And I did hear that about the plumber, but you know what? It was a dud. It got no reaction from the audience. I mean, he said some funny laughs, but it was essentially a dud.
Okay.
And but it kind of reminds me, Russ. I mean, Walter Cronkite. This was talk. He had retired. He was talking about General Eisenhower, President Eisenhower.
Okay.
And Eisenhower said, one of the things he regretted in life is he berated some man one time. He says, "You look like a barber to me." That's what he told the guy. But it was like years later he kind of realized something, because after all what he'd been through, he said it takes all different types of people to make a society work.
Yeah.
And that's what he said. He always regretted saying that. That's what President Eisenhower. I want to keep calling him General. I keep thinking about World War II. And,
sure.
Normandy and the death camps. Him standing there.
Yeah.
And,
Yep.
But that's what he said.
Okay.
He said he always regretted that. He says it takes a lot of different people to make a society work. And I remember that's what Walter Cronkite said. I guess when he retired, they were interviewing him. He was talking about Eisenhower.
All right. Okay, Mark.
All right, Russ. That's all I got for today.
All right, sir. I appreciate the phone call. I
Right.
look forward to the next one. Bye-bye. Hello, welcome to What's on Your Mind.
Russ, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, James. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good.
Wanted to ask a question that's just on a lot of people's mind, and it deals with the war here. And now, first of all, the hourly news just had stated that Iran agreed to let 20 ships in and out of the Strait of Hormuz, correct?
Yeah.
But that wasn't an agreement with the United States. That was an agreement that, well, not an agreement. They said that they were letting 20 ships in and out, and that could have been for their benefit because they're making all kind of money on oil right now, and it could be allies that they have, correct?
From what I understand, China's been prohibited from going through, so they're certainly an ally.
Right. I just don't know who these 20
I don't know who the 20 ships are. I don't know.
Yeah, but because Trump had mentioned that early today about, and this I don't believe had anything to do with that. This is 20 ships that they already kind of had planned to come through to move their oil. Because like we said last week, they're making more money on their oil than they did a year ago, and it's getting paid directly to them. Now, the thing that I'm really concerned about is, did you hear about the USS Gerald R. Ford?
What about it?
Well, it's in dock in Crete. You've heard that, right?
No.
You haven't heard? Okay, well, there's a discrepancy here because over the weekend, I think last week, and people can verify this, Thursday or Friday, it had to move from its offensive position and leave the area, and people were asking why. They said that it was a fire on board the USS Gerald R. Ford. Now, it ends up going and being docked in Crete. They're saying that there was, now at this time, they're saying no casualties, but they're saying this thing was docked in Crete. Now, this is a $14 billion aircraft carrier. This is one of our pride and joys. So it's docked in Crete. Again, no casualties. They're saying that it was a fire in a laundry room.
Yep.
But other people are saying that why is it going to take 14 months to fix a fire in a laundry room? So there's some discrepancy there. And Trump himself, in a video, says that it was attacked, that he was proud of the servicemen and proud of the sailors, but that it was attacked. So you're getting two sides of this, and until I find out more, you don't know kind of who to believe at this time. But even out of his mouth, he says yes, that it took shots from different angles, and that's what caused it to have some problems. But it's over in Crete now. I think the White House and other different outlets said, oh, no, it was just a fire. But then again, 14 months, they're already estimating to have it back in line.
Okay.
The other thing that gets me is we're told that everything's kind of taken care of, but yet 10 servicemen were injured in an attack on a base in Saudi Arabia where they destroyed three of our airplanes. I think they were F-35s, and 10 servicemen were hurt. So it seems to me that this isn't over, and that they have enough drones, enough missiles to keep playing possum. We're done, and then the next day they shoot off all these missiles. And the concerning thing is Russia. Have you heard about Russia and the drones? Russia said that they are going to be giving Iran updated and more updated and more upgraded drones. Now, I'm not saying they're there already. I have a hard time believing that's what struck any of these, were used in any of these attacks. But they're saying that they're concerned that Ukraine was showing the United States and Israel how to knock these things out of the air. So now Russia's coming up and saying, well, here, I'll give you an upgraded and updated version, and you can use these. So this is going to get even more hairier over there.
By the way, the Gerald Ford is in Split, Croatia on a scheduled port call. It had been in Crete for repairs from the fire, but that's taken care of, and it has moved to Croatia for a scheduled port call. It'll be back in theater of operations in the near future.
Okay, they're saying we're going to see if this is true or not, because if it doesn't show up for 14 months, you know that there was more severe damage than what they're saying.
Well, if it's 14 months, it's not staying over in Europe. It's coming home for repairs. So that's where you're going to know real quick.
Right.
And they're already beyond their original scheduled deployment. So
right, they should have been coming back anyway.
Anytime. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. They should have been. I think that's when the Lincoln was going to replace them. I thought over there, the Abraham Lincoln. I'm not sure what the time frames were, but it just seems to me too. You're hoping that this gets solved, but now each day you're hearing that, here we are with more troops. We're hearing Navy SEALs, Special Forces. It just sounds like they're determined to go in. I mean,
well, I don't know if that's the case at all, James, but what I do believe is that this is all part of the negotiation that's taken place. So yes, troops are on the way, and it's President Trump threatening, hey, I'm going to put troops on the ground, end this war now, Iran, do what we're telling you to do. I've got troops on the way. So we'll wait and see whether actually they get on the ground or not. So anything else, James? I got another call I want to get in before the break.
No, go ahead, Russ.
All right, James, thanks for your call. Hello, welcome to What's on Your Mind.
Hi, Russ. Hey, it's Mark from Fellsville.
Yeah, Mark.
My mom's brother, Tom, up in Cleveland, he was a machinist. And in the 60s, they got the contract, his machinist company, to build the nozzles for the Apollo missions. And he took pictures and he helped machine them out, which is pretty interesting. I was very proud of him. Of course, he died right after he retired. Then, it's amazing the technology then, 47 whatever years ago, worked pretty darn good for like 2 computers. But and then there was a country that 30-some years later developed something even greater. It was Yugoslavia came out with the Yugo.
Yeah.
Well, basically, we got it wrapped up. There was 80-some people died every month in Vietnam for 13 years. When you look at stuff like that, I don't even know why the other fellow's concerned. That fire that broke out, that happened 1.5 months ago, and I heard it the night that it happened. But it was nothing. Hey, we'll be back to $55 a barrel here in about 3 months. So, good luck, good day. Have a good day.
Okay, Mark. Thanks for your call.
Bye-bye.
Appreciate
Bye-bye.
it. Bye-bye. Hey, 724-438-4593. Both lines are open, so give me a buzz, and we'll do some more chatting right after this.
Is that a bird I hear? I think it's spring. We have to get the junk out of the garage. I need a shed. But a cool shed, yeah. Maybe a she shed or an office shed.
I know just the place where you can find the perfect shed. It's Ultimate Structures on Route 51 in Perry Township.
Well, that's good, because I need to see them for myself.
See large and small sheds, office sheds, animal shelters, recreational cabins, garages. It's unbelievable. Right in Bell Vernon. Visit the Mega Lot at Ultimate Structures. Order right now, and you'll get our 12% spring discount on all new shed orders.
I'm Googling Ultimate Structures Bell Vernon. Okay, they're just outside Perryopolis. There's a website and a Facebook page, plus that 12% discount right now.
Ultimate Structures is the only independent dealer representing JDM Structures in Pennsylvania. Stop in. We design what you desire.
Wind, hail, sudden leaks. When your roof takes a beating, we're here for you at AR Roofing and Remodeling. We're a locally and veteran-owned contractor available 24/7 for repairs. As an Owens Corning Platinum Preferred Contractor, we get the job done right. Call 724-550-3064 or visit arremodels.com for your free estimate.
We have your gifts to celebrate love, birthdays, anniversaries, special occasions, or all the above. Things that go bling, earring pendants and rings, all types of handbags, crossbodies, concealed carry, and slings, Western Southwest, boots, hats, and more, silver Zapata jewelry, fun fashion turquoise, it's a staple in our store. Strap, 34 South Street in downtown Uniontown, located in the rear of the State Farm Building, 724-557-6184. We value your shopping experience here with us at Strap, so come on in, sit a spell, enjoy a refreshment, and a bag of peanuts. Strap, 724-557-6184. We're open Tuesday to Friday, 11 to 5, and Saturdays, 10 to 3. Convenient street parking right in front of our shop. You're sure to adore us, and you'll love our prices. Shop small, shop Strap.
Are delinquent credit cards, medical bills, and personal loans stressing you out? Are you unable to catch up? Are the debt collection calls just too much? If yes, then call Zebley Law at 724-439-9200. Zebley Law provides free in-person consultations. Then, using our decades of experience, we recommend a plan for relief. Before hiring a debt relief company or an out-of-town bankruptcy firm, call the local law firm serving Fayette, Washington, and Greene counties since 2001. Call Zebley Law at 724-439-9200.
Ready to update your home? Find what you need at Zen's Construction Warehouse. Their friendly, knowledgeable staff will be happy to help you the old-fashioned way. Zen's is open Monday through Friday, 9 to 5:30, Saturday and Sunday, 10 to 2. 485 Walnut Hill Road in Continental. Zen's Construction Warehouse, 724-366-8274. Or visit Zen's Construction Warehouse's Facebook page.
Zen's Construction Warehouse, our surplus, your savings. WMBS.
Welcome back to What's on Your Mind. I'm Russ Rhodes, your host. It is Open Conversation. We've got, 6 minutes or so until the top of the hour when it's time to head off to the CBS News. So give me a buzz here. What do you want to talk about? 724-438-4593. Talk about what's going on in the Middle East. We've got that. We've got sports. A couple things we can chat about there. The Chick-fil-A challenge that a particular restaurant is doing in Towson, Maryland, where, you're there with your family. You put a cell phone in a basket. You don't touch it during your entire meal. Nobody touches it. And you guys get free ice cream cones. So just the whole idea of, getting family back together and talking, right? And spending time together. Spending time together when everybody's on the phone is not spending time together. And I'll admit, hey, I'm guilty of this. My wife's guilty of it. So many of us are guilty of that. So would you do this? I'd like, and you hear about restaurants doing this every now and then. So if you went to a restaurant that had this chat, would you do it? 724-438-4593. Hello, welcome to What's on Your Mind.
Hello, Russ. This is Mike from Faircast.
Hey, Mike, how you doing?
Oh, life is good. You know that?
It is, isn't it?
I'm outside cutting grass. I got cushions on the glider that I can sit down and take a blow.
Okay.
I got screens in the door, and I got my old Walkman on my ears, and I'm listening to WMBS.
All right.
I mean, it doesn't get any better than that.
No, it doesn't.
Oh, by the way, I think the Pirates play tonight. Did you say they didn't?
I don't. You know what? I looked at the schedule. Let me double check here.
I think they do.
I thought they were. Maybe they do play tonight. We're just not carrying it tonight.
Oh, because I think Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday they're at Cincinnati, and then they come home for the home opener on Friday.
Well, I think there is a day off in there someplace. I'm pretty
and
sure.
I think it might be Thursday, but
Okay.
I'm not sure about that. But I do think they play tonight.
Well, anyway, as I double check on this, what else is on your mind there, Mike?
Well, Easter's coming up. This is a very holy week in our church and in our family, and we go to for 55 years.
Yep,
we have been
6:40
going-
p.m. By the way, I'm sorry, 6:40 p.m. is game time tonight against the Reds.
Yeah, okay, that's what I thought.
Yep.
We get together at Ogilvy Park up in Wheeling for the last 55 years. Her mom and dad started it. They passed away. Now we take over with our kids, and we have family coming, and we get a cabin up there, and we do this instead of like taking the grandkids to the beach or anything.
Okay.
We go to Ogilvy to the Easter cabin.
Okay. All right, and
So,
then do you guys go to church from out in that area for Easter Sunday?
Well, on Good Friday, I go down to the cathedral, and they have Stations of the Cross in Catholic religion, and then we on Sunday we have a priest coming from the local parish, St. Mike's. He comes up to the cabin and has mass for about 30 or 40 of us in the cabin, and then he eats dinner with us.
Okay.
I remember 40 years ago, and I was trying to tell my mom and dad that I was going to some cabin for Easter Mass. That was a kind of a hard sell. I had a hard time doing that. And I kept explaining to her. I said, Mom, after Jesus, I mean, they all had it in individual houses.
Yeah.
I don't care. You should be in a church. So finally
I'm
she
going to
gave
guess
in.
you never got your mom to join you then.
No.
Okay.
And you know what? That's a good question. I don't think they ever did come up to the cabin. But, yeah. So anyway, have a blessed week and have a blessed Easter, and let's go Bucks.
There you go. All righty.
Okay, Russ.
All right. Hey,
Talk
Mike,
to you later.
thanks for your call. Appreciate it.
Yeah,
Bye-bye.
man. Bye.
So, all right. Yeah, so Pirates today, Tuesday, Wednesday, off Thursday, home Friday for their home opener. There we go. So we've got that all straightened out. 724-438-4593. Let me see. I think I don't. Nope, both lines are open. And we've got about a minute and a half left here. So give me a buzz. Would love to hear from you. If not, well, hey, you know what? There's always next hour. So we'll have more time then. Less constraints staring at us in the face. So either way, if something short and sweet you want to chat about now, that's fine. If not, we'll hold off and do that in the next hour. 64 degrees, by the way. Sun's in and out because it is kind of cloudy out there today. But nice little breeze going. And as I mentioned, it is 64 degrees. So I think it's safe to say that the cold weather is behind us. Now, that's not to say we're not going to get some rain, but I think the cold weather is behind us now. So you can start making your plans, I think, for outdoor activities and not have to worry about cold, just rain. All right? Okay. Any other new topics you want to talk about next hour or two, that's fine with me. So start getting your list together, and we'll deal with that next hour. I'm going to take a look and see if there's something new we can also talk about next hour. And we'll make it fresh and new and exciting after the news. Having said all of that now, CBS is coming to you here in about 25 seconds. They're going to bring you news from around the world, around the country, and then TJ is in here with the local news, sports, and weather. I'll be back in this chair for another hour of open conversation, 724-438-4593, the WVU Medicine Uniontown Hospital talk line. And this is WMBS Uniontown at the Tone, 2 o'clock.
This is CBS News on the Hour, your home for original reporting.
I'm Jennifer Kuiper. After President Trump's signing of an executive order, TSA says most of its workers have been paid today for at least 2 paychecks missed. CBS's Jason Allen is at Houston's George Bush Intercontinental Airport and says of the TSA sick-out calls,
we were well up over 3,000. It dropped to 2,800 yesterday. And, of course, this comes with, the promise of pay. We've had officers quit, though, right? Because remember, they've gone through this a couple of times during the shutdown back in November. Now again this time. Some of them still waiting for pay.
The partial government shutdown is still in effect. CBS's Caitlin Huey-Burns.
The standoff continues. This is now the longest DHS shutdown in history, and there appears, at least at this point, no end in sight. So what happened last week was the Senate came up with an agreement and essentially passed it, and the House decided not to take it up. Instead, the House wants a 2-month clean extension of Department of Homeland Security funding. That, of course, is a non-starter. And so here we are at this impasse.
Lawmakers are now on a 2-week recess for Easter and Passover. And among those not receiving paychecks, Secret Service and FEMA employees and the Coast Guard. In southern Iran on February 28th, which was the first day of the war, and the same day a girls' school was struck. CBS's Stacey Lynn.
A senior administration official says they are aware of the reports and are looking into them, adding, quote, the United States does not target civilians, unlike the terrorist Iranian regime.
Hundreds of U.S. Special Operations Forces are now in the Middle East. A development regarding the Trump administration's asylum crackdown. CBS's Camilo Montoya Galvez.
The Department of Homeland Security did in fact confirm our reporting that USCIS has partially lifted this pause when it comes to countries that are not, again, on President Trump's so-called travel ban.
Restrictions will remain in place for nearly 40 countries. Authorities say a student shot a teacher at a Texas high school and then fatally shot himself. It happened this morning at Hill Country College Prep High School in Bulverde. The teacher is in a hospital, no word on her condition. Workers are back on the job at one of the nation's biggest shipbuilders, CBS's Jim Crisula.
Hundreds of workers at one of the U.S. Navy's biggest shipbuilding contractors have voted to approve a deal with Bath Iron Works in Maine, ending a week-long strike. The new 4-year collective bargaining agreement goes into effect immediately. The company has not said whether the strike slowed production.
Stocks are mixed on Wall Street and oil is up 3.5%. This is CBS News.
It's one of the most successful law and justice programs in television history that continues to uncover the truth. 48 Hours, Saturday on CBS and streaming on Paramount+.
You can go to Big Box Medical Office.
Now serving number 3,943.
Or
Hi, come on in. How are you?
for personal, professional health care you can trust, see Dr. Paul Hardley and nurse practitioners Tara Bozak, Jessica Reckhart, and Stacy Morris, proudly serving our community for over 30 years. Need care today? Walk-ins are always welcome. For your primary care, call Dr. Paul Hartley at 724-437-1109 or visit ppcp.org.
Or serving number 3,944.
In a world of big corporations and interpersonal experiences, there's something truly special about family-owned businesses. For over 70 years, the Mike Kelly Automotive family has been serving the community with integrity, honesty, and a commitment to putting families first. And we're not stopping anytime soon. Our commitment to excellent sales and service remains stronger than ever. Visit us today and experience the Mike Kelly Automotive difference. Because when you buy from us, you buy from family.
To assist with ball and strike calls.
In baseball, the first big argument over the automated ball strike system led to the Minnesota Twins manager being ejected from an eventual loss to the Orioles.
And Derek Shelton's been thrown out. He's arguing with the robots. You can't defeat the robots.
Shelton was arguing whether the Baltimore pitcher had called for an automated challenge quickly enough. Rules say it has to be immediate. On Saturday, home plate ump C.B. Buckner had 6 of 8 challenged calls overturned by the automation in a Cincinnati win over Boston. Steve Kathan, CBS News.
French authorities say police have stopped a suspected bombing outside a Bank of America building in Paris. Investigators have one person in custody. A second suspect got away. Over the weekend, officers spotted the 2 suspects near the building as one tried to light a device. Jennifer Kuiper, CBS News.
Now the local, district, and statewide news.
Being brought to you by Fayette Heating and Air Conditioning, your Bryant dealer. Keeping you warm and cozy in winter and cool and comfortable in summer with a quality Bryant gas furnace or air conditioning system. And now the news.
And good afternoon. It is 2:05. It is partly sunny and 66 outside of the Davis & Davis Attorneys at Law Studios. Injured call today for your free consultation, 724-437-2799. Your local station, 590 AM, 101.1 FM, WMBS. I'm TJ DeStefano. We'll check sports and weather after the news. An investigation is underway after a man died following an encounter with Donora police in which a taser was reportedly used earlier this month. State police confirmed that they are investigating the incident as Donora wanted an outside agency to look into it. 57-year-old John Miller lost consciousness following the incident on March 17th. He was taken to the hospital and died 5 days later on March 22nd. No further information has been released. As the United States enters its fifth week in the war with Iran, gas prices are surging across Pennsylvania and the U.S. According to AAA, gas prices are currently at $3.94 a gallon in the state. The national average is at $3.99. The Flight 93 National Memorial in Shanksville, Somerset County, is one of 6 locations along the U.S. Route 30 corridor, now included in Pennsylvania's new Highway of Heroes Trail. Flight 93 joins Independence National Historic Park in Philadelphia, Valley Forge National Historic Park, Gettysburg National Military Park, Eisenhower National Historic Site, and Fort Pitt Museum in Pittsburgh. This trail was launched through collaboration among national and state historical parks, state destination marketing groups such as Go Laurel Highlands and the Lincoln Highway Heritage Corridor. A popular sugar substitute could be harmful to your health. Here's more from Lisa Carton.
New research from the University of Colorado Boulder says erythritol can affect brain cells in ways that may increase the risk of stroke. A study of 4,000 people in the U.S. and Europe found that individuals with higher levels of erythritol in their blood were more likely to experience a heart attack or stroke within 3 years. The study's author noted that researchers used only a single daily serving of the substitute, and people who consume more could face greater side effects. I'm Lisa Carton.
WMBS Times 2:08. Sports and weather are next.
439-2323. For 24-hour emergency service, call us when you need. We're Fayette's Heating and Air Conditioning, your service company.
When it's sweltering outside, you'll be cool inside with central air conditioning from Bryant, the people that know cool. And it's easy to have a central air conditioning system installed in your home. Simply call on your Bryant dealer, Fayette Heating and Air Conditioning, located near the Laurel Mall on Route 119, north of Uniontown. The phone number is 439-2323. Let Fayette Heating and Air Conditioning rescue you from the sticky, humid summer weather. Remember that number for Fayette Heating and Air Conditioning, your Bryant dealer, 439-2323.
Call Fayette Heating and Air Conditioning, 439-2323, 439-2323, 439-2323.
In sports, the Penguins visit the New York Islanders tonight. We'll have the game on WMBS at 7. Pirates, they'll start a series in Cincinnati tonight against the Reds. Braxton Ashcraft goes for the Bucks. First pitch is at 6:40.
The local, district, and statewide news has been brought to you by Fayette Heating and Air Conditioning, your Bryant dealer. Route 119 north of Uniontown, located near Laurel Mall. Phone 439-2323.
The Weather Watch is being brought to you by State Farm agent Nathan Ferguson. Call Nate at 724-438-7611 for life, home, car insurance, and more. Get a free quote now.
Be partly sunny the rest of the afternoon, 68, mostly cloudy and 62 tonight. Clouds and sun tomorrow, 78. Right now it is partly sunny and 66 outside of our Davis & Davis Attorneys at Law Studios at 2:10 on this Monday afternoon. I'm TJ DeStefano. Up next, hour 2 of What's on Your Mind with Russ Rhodes on WMBS.
The Weather Watch has been brought to you by State Farm agent Nathan Ferguson. Nate is there for you. Call 724-438-7611 for life, home, car insurance, and more.
Wind, hail, sudden leaks. When your roof takes a beating, we're here for you at AR Roofing and Remodeling. We're a locally and veteran-owned contractor available 24/7 for repairs. As an Owens Corning Platinum Preferred Contractor, we get the job done right. Call 724-550-3064 or visit arremodels.com for your free estimate.
AR Roofing, never settle.
Get ready, there's a new Italian favorite at Live Casino. Introducing Mangia, featuring DiLallo, opening April 9th. Part market, part cafe, Mangia offers delicious, quick-served, authentic Italian cuisine made with the finest ingredients. Featuring pasta, hoagies, pizza, salads, gelato, cocktails, espresso, and a retail shop featuring DiLallo brand favorites. Mangia, featuring DiLallo, opening April 9th at Live Casino, Route 30 at Westmoreland Mall. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Hey, you looking for a quality pre-owned vehicle? Well, look no more, because with over 200 vehicles, Gary's Auto Sales is the largest used car dealer in the area. Whether you want a car, a truck, or an SUV, you'll absolutely find what you're looking for at Gary's. Gary's has been in business since 1974. You can visit them online at Gary'sAutoSales.com, or you can give them a call at 724-626-8080. Gary's Auto Sales. Many miles, many smiles.
That sneeze was in a different zip code, and I still felt the germs.
Relax, Randy. I went to Montgomery Medical. I'm fully shielded.
Like a flu shot?
Flu, COVID, the works. If you haven't caught up on your shots yet, they'll get you sorted in minutes. It's basically a suit of armor, but with less clanking. Then do the double shot. After Montgomery Medical, head over to Renew You MediSpa. I got their immunity IV drip.
A MediSpa?
You relax, you hydrate, and you give your immune system a VIP upgrade.
Montgomery Medical, a family tradition of family medicine.
Caring for an aging parent or a loved one with medical needs? Fact, Fayette Area Coordinated Transportation can help. Seniors 65 and older ride free on our fixed routes. People with disabilities get discounted shared rides. And if your loved one has medical assistance, their trips to doctors or treatment are covered under the shared ride program. Give them safe, reliable independence and yourself peace of mind. Call 724-628-RIDE or visit factbus.com. Fact, your community, your connection.
Having Hicks & Baugh's Drugstore in Uniontown means reliable, quality, and friendly service. Pharmacists Stephen Harper and Seth Miller are ready to answer your health questions and handle all your prescriptions. They offer free delivery, mail-out service, and accept all utility payments, all part of their good neighbor way of doing business. Visit Hicks & Baugh's at 304 Morgantown Street in Uniontown or call 724-437-2828. Open Monday to Friday, 9 to 6 and Saturday until 3.
Your local station, WMBS.
The views and opinions presented by the host, guests, or callers on this program do not necessarily represent the positions of WMBS Radio.
Welcome back, hour 2 of What's on Your Mind. I'm your host, Russ Rhodes. It is open conversation again this hour, and both lines are currently open, so give me a buzz on the WVU Medicine Uniontown Hospital talk line, 724-438-4593. As I mentioned, both lines are open, so no waiting for the first caller. Hey, What's on Your Mind brought to you by Gary's Auto Sales, Hicks & Baugh's Drugstore, Coldwell Banker Laurel Ridge Realty, K2 Engineering, and AR Roofing and Remodeling. Okay, just to kind of go over my list of possible topics. And again, it's just my list. If there's something else you want to chat about, by all means, give me a buzz. So the Final Four in men's NCAA basketball tournament is settled. It's on Arizona. The winner of those two games will meet on Monday, April 6th, to determine this year's national champion in the NCAA college basketball ranks. Pirates off to a bit of a shaky start, 1-2 against the Mets. 1 win, 2 losses, that is. They take on the Reds in Cincinnati tonight for a 3-game series before coming home Friday to open up here in Pittsburgh against the Baltimore Orioles. We're told that negotiations continue between the U.S. and Iran to end hostilities there. In the meantime, Iran is, allowing 20 ships to pass through the Strait of Hormuz. So who knows what that's all about. But anyway, there you go. Jimmy Kimmel last week made a dig at new Homeland Security Secretary Markwayne Mullen, calling him a, former plumber running Homeland Security now, as if that's a bad thing. So a lot of people are saying it was a failed joke, and just once again proves how the left looks down at the working class American with disdain, saying, they can't do anything else, so, let them be a plumber type of thing. Others are saying, thank goodness for plumbers. They're needed. So, your thoughts on that. A Chick-fil-A restaurant in Towson, Maryland has a grab a coop and take the challenge. So basically ask for a coop or a little wire basket, and you put all your cell phones in it if you're there as a family. Everybody puts their cell phone in, and providing nobody gets on their cell phone while you're eating your dinner, Chick-fil-A will give you a free ice cream cone for everybody at your table. Part of this is because of a 2023 study that says 68% of households in the U.S. have a person using a phone at dinner time. That same poll, 65% don't like that fact, and 42% think it's rude. So the U.S. last week announced a war on fraud, or the other week, Vice President Vance has been put in charge of that. So as part of their fight against fraud, Secretary of the Treasury, Scott Bessent, today announced that if you have knowledge of a fraud taking place, in other words, you work for an organization that received federal grant monies, and if that money's not being used in the way that it was designed to be used, and you feel that's fraud, call the government, and if the government agrees with you and is able to retrieve and recover those funds, you'll get 30% reward. So what do you think about that? Artemis 2 space rocket is prepared to lift off, or is being prepared to lift off at 6:24 p.m. Wednesday, I think from Cape Canaveral. I'm not sure about that. On its way to the moon. It's going to be a 10-day trek up and back. The crew will circle the moon and go actually over 4,000 miles beyond the moon, the farthest a human has ever been away from Earth, and come on back. So this is all in preparation of landing on the moon. I believe they're scheduled for 2027 to do that. Chicago Public Schools have lost 10% of its student population since 2019, but yet its staffing has risen 20%. So many schools are virtually empty, but Chicago Public Schools is unable to shut them down because of the strength of the teachers union. So your thoughts on that? And then something new to chat about, and I don't know if this is if somebody had been seriously hurt, then yes, this would absolutely be news. Other than that, the subject, I think, is what causes the news. In this case, Tiger Woods. The other day was involved in an auto accident where he was behind the wheel, so much so that he rolled the car he was driving. It ended up on its side. So speed is being considered a factor, and he's been arrested on suspicion of DUI, and I say suspicion because he refused to take a breathalyzer, and they had to take I believe a blood test instead. So and I guess they're waiting for results on that. What takes so long, I don't know. But this is drawing unwanted attention, I'm sure, to Tiger Woods. This is like his second or third time of possibly driving under the influence of alcohol. Some people are saying that he needs help. What do you think? I mean, is this newsworthy to the extent that it's making the news as much as it is? I mean, I've heard people say that he may lose custody of his kids. Maybe. I don't know. Could be. I mean, certainly his wife could make an argument, or ex-wife, I should say, could make an argument for that. Right? I don't know. So what do you think? Is this really our list of possible topics? So give me a buzz. Both lines are open. The WVU Medicine Uniontown Hospital talk line, 724-438-4593. So what else do you want? Yeah, had some rain over the weekend, didn't we? But we also had some very nice time over the weekend. So I hope you had a great weekend. But unfortunately, that's in our rearview mirror. We've got the rest of the week ahead of us, heading into the Easter weekend. And, of course, as Mike mentioned, excuse me, our last caller in the first hour, we are in Holy Week. Yesterday, Palm Sunday. We are officially into Holy Week now, leading up to Easter on Sunday. So what are your plans? Is it Easter a time for your family getting together? Do you share a meal on Sunday evening or afternoon? What's your family traditions for the Easter week? So give me a buzz on all of that. 724-438-4593. Of course, there is the ongoing war in Iran. Your thoughts about that? Do you think this is going to come to an end here fairly soon? Or is this going to be for the long haul on this? Evidence that Russia is helping Iran. Same with North Korea. China, to some extent, is aiding Iran. But it seems everybody else is either trying to stay out of it or have sided with the U.S. and want the U.S. to just finish the job. And a lot of those that say finish the job are Iran's neighbors. Something that maybe is a little unexpected, some would say. So what are your thoughts? And on top of that now, the president is urging Saudi Arabia to sign on to the Abraham Accords. If that takes place, that certainly is a big game changer out there. So, what are your thoughts? What do you think? So 724-438-4593. Both lines are open. I'm looking forward to chatting with you. And also on this one, we'll go back to the Final Four. I mentioned Illinois takes on UConn, and Arizona is playing Michigan for those two winners, the winners of those two games going into the championship game. Who do you think is the ultimate winner? Who do you think Monday night is going to cut down the nets and hoist that championship trophy above their heads? Who's it going to be? Who's it going to be? So I'm asking you to pull out your crystal ball and tell us who it's going to be. All right, 724-438-4593. Trying to think what else. It's been a while since I don't know. What? Is there something on your mind? Give me a call. Both lines are open. Chicago Public Schools, touched on this briefly in the first hour. Losing student population is down 10% since 2019. And yet there's 20% more staff has been hired in that same time period. I don't know how many schools are in the Chicago Public School District. I don't. A couple hundred, I think. But 80 of those schools, 80 of them, in 2024, reported that 0 students were proficient in math. And that's not just like first grade where you're learning. No, this, and I don't know what grades these schools were, what they covered. But certainly on the surface, it's telling us that grades 1 through 12 are affected in this. How the breakdown is by grade, I don't know, because, there's standards. They say by this grade you should be able to do this, and this grade you should be able to do that. And I don't know that really matters. What we're talking about, though, 80 schools, 0 students proficient in math. 24 schools had 0 students proficient in reading. Now, here's where AI comes into being on this conversation. Is AI becoming is getting to the point where doesn't matter whether I know how to read and write. It doesn't matter whether I know math, because I can go to AI and AI will tell me. Is that where we're heading? At one point in time in history, it was a privilege to be educated. Those with an education were looked upon as, the elites of society. Because, for one thing, they could read the Bible. But now, maybe not so much. Why do I need to learn to read? AI will tell me. Why do I need to know how to do math? AI will tell me. So is AI going to be the cause of dumbing down America, dumbing down civilization? I heard some recently, and I don't know the full story behind this. And I'm not sure where it took place. But a company had developed an AI system, and apparently it taught itself where it started dealing in the stock market. It wasn't designed to do that, but it kind of taught itself. And robots taking over mankind. And so is that part of the, I mean, 80 schools, not a single student could do math. 24, not a single student could read. Is AI part of this dumbing down? And how much do we blame on the teacher? I think in this case for the public schools of Chicago, I think a lot of this is this, you got to blame the teachers. And I'll put blame on parents as well. Last week we brought up the story about the young woman up in what was it, Connecticut or New Hampshire, suing her school district because she graduated with honors. Some articles indicated she was valedictorian, but she graduated with honors not knowing how to read. And she sued, or is suing. She was able to get through by listening to tape recordings and AI. Wow, huh? Hello, welcome to What's on Your Mind.
Hello, Russ. This is Tony.
Hey, Tony, how you doing?
Oh, pretty good. I can't believe I'm calling in to comment on this topic that you picked, but the Tiger Woods story.
Yeah.
Okay. First of all, the story that I had heard on ABC was he did take a breathalyzer.
Okay.
He passed it, but they wanted to draw blood, and he refused blood.
Okay.
Which would lead you to believe maybe it wasn't alcohol, but it could have been drugs or something like that, because he refused the drug. But the reason it is a story is, yes, it's multiple times he's wrecked or been involved in accidents or whatever. He does need help.
Mm-hmm.
But the Masters is coming up, and he signed up, I think, to play in the Masters.
Okay.
It's a story because they want to see, is the PGA going to sanction him ever?
Mm-hmm.
For some of his behaviors and things. Not that it's the PGA's business to be Big Brother,
right.
But the story I heard, it led you to believe that it was the PGA going to do anything about this.
Mm-hmm.
Because the NFL would take a rap if it was one of its players.
Yeah, and Major League Baseball does as well, and I believe the NBA does.
Yes, yes. So that's why it would be a story.
Okay.
And the other quick thing, because I know you have to go to commercial break, you've said this is Holy Week. Yes, it is. And I'm not a holier-than-thou person, but I would like to see for tomorrow and the next day and Thursday and Friday, callers take the challenge that maybe you could call in, still air your grievances. That's your right. But maybe with a little less bitterness and hatred and condescending and demonizing the other person.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just try that just for the week.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up, Tony, because this staying on that particular topic there takes me to the No Kings March on Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
I saw a video, and I believe it was from the one here in Uniontown. And there was a man on there just cussing up, down, left, and right President Donald Trump. Okay, that's his right to do so, but you know what? I here's exactly what you're talking about. I have absolutely no respect for that gentleman that did that. And I completely tune out his argument when there is so much cussing taking place like that man did. on the video. You know what? To me, if you want to have an argument, a discussion, come at me in a civilized manner, and come at me with facts. Come at me with leave your feelings out of it. Tell me why you don't like the man for for whatever reason. What has he done to destroy this country?
Yeah, I don't like the demonizing of each other. I don't like it. If you have a caller comes in and, well, it's plain to see you people need to, what's wrong with that, like you say, that shuts my ears.
Yeah.
It shuts my ears.
Yep. Absolutely.
Well, that's all I have to say.
All right, Tony. Well, hopefully, some people will hear what you had to say, and maybe just for a week anyway.
1 week, just 1 week. Yeah. Start small.
Yep. Alrighty. Hey, Tony. Thanks for your call. Appreciate it.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Hey, we got to take that break that Tony mentioned. When we come back, both lines are open. Give me a buzz on the WVU Medicine Uniontown Hospital talk line, 724-438-4593.
Route 21 Furniture, take the road to your perfect home.
Sleep well tonight. Try out a new mattress from Route 21 Furniture with a large selection of mattresses, all sizes and comfort levels, with great prices, free local delivery and setup, and financing options. Route 21 Furniture. Open weekdays 9 to 5, Saturday 10 to 5, Sunday noon to 4. 724-737-2222 or Route21Furniture.com.
Route 21 Furniture, take the road to your perfect home.
It's officially truck month and SUV season at Thurby's Riverside Ford. That means special financing and truck month deals on new Ford trucks and SUVs. Have you been thinking about a new 2025 Ford F-150 four-wheel drive? Now take advantage of Ford incentives.
Starting to arrive, we've got the hard-to-get vehicles in stock. And for SUV month, the new 2026 Escape, Explorer, Bronco, and Bronco Sport have just arrived, along with the iconic Ford Mustang. All here just in time for truck month and SUV season.
Hurry in. Our selection is great. We have the inventory in stock or on the way. Thurby's Riverside Ford, your 25-time President's Award-winning dealer, located on Route 40, 1 mile past the casino at Nemacolin. See Joey, Sammy, Jimmy, or Ashley. Offer ends March 31st, 2026.
Looking for a great place to eat in Uniontown? Stop by Casey's Sports Cafe, located at 243 South Mount Vernon Avenue and proudly owned by the Vernon family. Casey's is open Monday and Friday from 7 to 3, Tuesday through Thursday 7 to 7, and Saturday and Sunday 7 to 2. Come check out their new items and delicious entrees. And remember, Casey's can cater your next event. Whether it's breakfast, lunch, or dinner, Casey's is the place to eat. Call 724-550-4126.
Are you considering a project design and don't know where to start? K2 Engineering offers a wide range of professional civil, architectural, and municipal services to meet your individual project needs. Our versatility, combined with our personalized approach, is what sets us apart as a full-service engineering and consultation firm. To learn more about our services, please visit us on the web at www.k2engineering.net. K2 Engineering, where customer service is our priority.
Are you looking to list or sell your house? Now is the time to let the professionals at Caldwell Banker Laurel Ridge Realty help you with all of your real estate needs. Caldwell Banker Laurel Ridge Realty has 2 convenient locations to better serve you. In Uniontown area, 724-437-7100, or in Connellsville area, 724-628-7200, and speak with one of our real estate professionals. Visit our website, caldwellbanker.com. We have been proudly serving Western Pennsylvania area for over 30 years and look forward to helping you with all of your real estate needs. Broker Paul Borges Jr.
WMBS.
Welcome back to What's on Your Mind. I'm Russ Rhodes, your host. It is Open Conversation on this beautiful spring day. 724-438-4593. Hello, welcome to What's on Your Mind.
Hey, Russ Skipper here today.
Hey, Skipper.
How you doing?
I'm doing great. Yourself?
Well, I checked obituaries in the Uniontown newspaper this morning, and my name wasn't in there.
All righty.
I knew it was going to be a great day.
Yes, yes.
That's my ongoing joke. Hey, have you ever shaken hands with an undertaker?
Yes, I have.
Well, whenever they shake and they grab your hand real tight, they always have their index finger out right on your pulse on your wrist. Did you notice that?
No, I have not noticed that.
That's the Undertaker's handshake.
Okay, all right.
Hey, I haven't listened today just for the last two callers, but you know this Tiger Woods thing, and he did not want to take a blood test because he didn't have any alcohol in him, and he's already been known to drink and drug in his last bust, I think it was, and it's really a sad thing. I have a lot of friends that are not drug addicts, so to speak, that want to get high, but they've had surgeries and now they're hooked to opiates.
Yeah.
And it's really a sad thing that happens in this country.
Sure.
The medical profession has now caught on to it, and they've stopped them from just pushing it on everybody and everything. And the government had to, get involved in this thing, and they've sued them repeatedly. But I feel bad for Tiger Woods for that addiction he has.
Yeah.
The other thing I was going to say is, guaranteed he has been informed by his lawyers on if he ever gets in trouble again on how to proceed. And usually if you deny a blood test in the state of Pennsylvania, you're automatically guilty. Do you know that?
Well, I don't know that you're automatically guilty, but you automatically lose your license for a year, I think.
They find you guilty.
Okay.
I'm not saying you were or you weren't, but if you deny a blood test or a breathalyzer in this state, you're found guilty by the court of law.
Okay.
And so, but I guarantee you, if you have good lawyers like he has, they can prolong that thing for years and years and plea bar. Times he looked like a bullfrog, with muscles sticking on top of muscles.
Yeah.
I've seen people like Lenny Dykstra and other people that were, and Barry Bonds and, and Mac. And I don't wonder if they test them PGA guys regularly with steroids. Do you know that not?
I have no clue.
Well, that would be one reason, because if he would have to get a blood test and they would show steroids, and I'm not saying he's guilty, but if he would, then he would be out of golf for a while or, a long time.
Okay.
That would be a bad thing. But just my point was, I feel sorry for Tiger Woods that, he's had knee surgery, back surgery, and they put him on opiates because they're so high. I would recommend to anybody here that's listening, if you are going to get any type of surgery where you got to get opiates, you need to take them as minimal as possible because they're so high, they're so potent nowadays that you don't have to be a person who wants to get high. Then what happens is, that people don't know this, whenever you're addicted to opiates, it's not about getting high. Whenever you're not taking them, you're addicted, you're what they call dope sick. You feel like you're dying. But if you take the pills, it's not for pain anymore. It's so that you don't feel sick.
Yeah.
And that is addiction for people that don't understand it.
We've been told, when you are prescribed something, and this is where I think things maybe are hopefully are changing. When you're prescribed, you're told take the whole dosage, and that is true, especially for if you're fighting a bacteria type of thing.
You have to.
Yeah, you don't want to stop halfway through because it just makes the bacteria stronger when it comes back. You want to be able to kill it off completely. So I think that same mindset, as you said, you have some surgery, whatever, and you're given pain pills to combat the pain. Well, I've got this prescription, I've got to finish it. So in that case, I think doctors need to say, no, you don't have to finish this. This is just pain. Pain is a good thing. Pain reminds you of an injury. Pain tells you have to sit back and rest a little bit, that you're overdoing it too much.
Well, the law now is that anything that's a schedule whatever pain, you can only get 30 days at a time.
Mm-hmm.
They've changed a lot of the law. You could get 120 pills, and you could shop around to 5 doctors back in the 70s and get 5 prescriptions of the same thing off of different doctors.
Right.
And they have it all. They flag you in the system all over the United States now. You cannot get away with it. But here's the line. What I was talking about is don't take in more you need. Whenever I talk to my friends that get these, I tell them, look here, if you're in pain, you take them. But if you're just sore, you don't take them.
No.
Because, see, they may be after 2 days, they're not really in pain anymore, but they're still sore.
Mm-hmm.
So they'll take them, but then it's after 30 days, they're addicted to it.
Right.
You know, and it's real sad. Anyways, I don't want to take up all the time, but I just wanted to say how, you know, I feel bad for Tiger Woods because he is one of many hundred thousands in this country that have went through a surgery and now are addicts.
Right.
And it's really sad. So I'm sticking up for Tiger Woods today.
And, you know, you mentioned 30 days on the prescription. Well, maybe when it comes to painkillers, that needs to be reduced even farther. You know,
I've
7 days.
Right. I agree. I have taken them, and I had a problem in my past, and I've been clean and sober for 39 years straight now. But anyways, I have to take them sometimes. I have a procedure coming up where I have to get stuff in me, but whenever I have medication, I always give them to my wife, and like after 2 days, we destroy them, you know, because it's either I'm in pain or I'm just sore.
Right.
I have to take them for a couple of days because you cannot sleep at all.
Mm-hmm.
And I take them in the evening so that I can sleep. But once I'm just not in pain, maybe I'm sore moving and walking.
Right.
That is not for pain medication.
No, that is the healing process.
And they can't micromanage everybody, so they just say, okay, 30 days.
Mm-hmm.
And so anyways, I just wanted to put that out there, maybe a little education for people. But I'm sticking up for Tiger Woods today, and hopefully, thank God he didn't wreck and kill somebody, like a busload of kids or something. That would be horrific. So hopefully he'll get help for himself, and you know, maybe some people can. I'm not sure, but anyways, I didn't really have much more to say. I like listening to your show, and I appreciate the ladies' comments about being nice. They had that big thing out at the flags there at Five Corners.
Right.
Why? And I've seen the ones in Morgantown online. I said all they need is throw all their jewelry together and get a silversmith there and make a gold calf and stick it out there, and then you know watch Main Street split in half and fires start flying out of the ground. I was ready to start videoing for what's that? Cecil B. DeMille.
There you go.
All right, I'll see you later,
All right,
Bird. There's your laugh for today. God bless.
Thanks for your call. Appreciate it.
All right, bye.
So, just I want to add a little bit. You know, Skipper was saying, you know, he only takes it for a couple days, and then he and his wife they get rid of him. So, don't just throw them in your garbage or flush them down the sink or the toilet, because it can't come back and harm the environment. So where I'm going, you know, the sheriff has drug take-back program. So old prescriptions that you don't need anymore, he can take them back, and they'll be disposed of properly. I know the coroner has these. I don't know where else you can get them. Maybe from the sheriff as well. I don't know, but it is a it is a package that you can put your old prescriptions in, and whatever in the packet kind of dissolves and neutralizes, if you will, the drugs that you put in this. And then I forget if you could throw that away or again you turn that packet in, but the coroner has some things as well. So don't just throw your leftover pain pills away. Don't throw your leftover prescriptions of anything away. There are proper ways of disposing them. And like I said, the sheriff has a program, and a lot of city halls or going back, taking it to the hospital, have ways of disposing. Check with your own primary care physician as well when it comes to leftover pharmaceuticals. So there you go. All righty. 724-438-4593. It is open conversation. Both lines are open. I'm going to take my last break of the afternoon. When we come back, you and I together, though, we're going to finish out hour 2 of What's on Your Mind.
The biggest reason Metropolitan Window Company has been in business since 1978 is our huge list of satisfied customers.
John, Maggie, and Justin Schmutzer here from Metropolitan Window Company, Pittsburgh's locally owned and family-operated window and door company for over 47 years.
When you choose Metropolitan Window Company, you're getting expertise and attention to detail from a trusted business that puts your needs first.
You're also getting our exclusive Infinity from Marvin 100% fiberglass windows that are built for life.
The most important part of a window is the framing. Fiberglass frames won't lose their dimensional integrity. They're the strongest, longest-lasting window you can buy.
And right now, you can save 20% and get financing on every window and door product we offer.
Stop by one of our showrooms, visit us at metropolitanwindows.com, or give us a call at 412-655-8411.
PA 1565.
Zen's Antiques and Home Decor, part of the Cinder Shack family of vendors, where you can find both antique and new furniture, collectibles, housewares, gift items, including jewelry and candles, and so much more. Follow Zen's Antiques and Home Decor on Facebook for new items and information on upcoming events. Zen's Antiques and Home Decor in Building 2 at 3391 National Pike in Farmington. Zen's Antiques and Home Decor.
Uniontown Liquidation Outlet wants to thank you for borrowing our special pay at 2025. Come shop with us for the lowest prices around. We have toys, home goods, tools, electronics, and much more. We offer layaway, so stop in today and ask us how it works. We are located inside the Uniontown Mall.
The Uniontown Liquidation Outlet. Visit us on Facebook, Uniontown Liquidation Outlet.
Hope to see you soon.
Chesler's Fine Furniture has teamed up with Craftmaster Upholstery to bring you an exciting new program. You get quality, handcrafted workmanship with hundreds of styles and more than 1,000 fabrics to choose from. And it's all made in the USA. During Chesler's custom order sale, you can select from any of the 25 styles in stock for immediate delivery, or custom order the fabric of your choice, all at sale prices. Choose from traditional, contemporary, and casual. The fabric selection varies from light cottons to heavy textured chenilles. Not only does Craftmaster and Emerald Craft offer choices in mid-range pricing, they build upholstery furniture the old-fashioned way, handcrafted. Come see the large display at Chesler's Fine Furniture today and make your selections. You won't be disappointed. And sofas are sale priced starting at $11.99. Delivery, layaway, and credit terms are available. Chesler's Fine Furniture, Route 51 in Uniontown, where customers send their friends.
Wind, hail, sudden leaks. When your roof takes a beating, we're here for you at AR Roofing and Remodeling. We're a locally and veteran-owned contractor available 24/7 for repairs. As an Owens Corning Platinum Preferred Contractor, we get the job done right. Call 724-550-3064 or visit arremodels.com for your free estimate.
Spring flowers are right around the corner, and so is prom season at Patty's Bridal. We have a prom sale you won't want to miss. All prom dresses are 50% off. That's right, not 10 or 20%, 50%. Every single prom dress at Patty's, located at the Uniontown Mall, is marked down now. Don't wait, as they will go fast. Find the dress that will make your prom night magical at Patty's Bridal, open daily from 11 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. or call at 724-439-1168.
And we're back. This is What's on Your Mind, and I'm your host, Russ Rhodes. We've got 5 minutes left for conversation here in hour 2 of What's on Your Mind, so give me a buzz. The WVU Medicine Uniontown Hospital talk line, 724-438-4593. Both lines are open, so looking forward to chatting with you. I had something I was going to bring up, and now it has escaped me. That doesn't happen. It happens, not too often, but it happens. So, all right, so Final Four Who do you think is going to be the ultimate winner? So, and this will be an ongoing question throughout the week. By the way, I'm here again tomorrow. Wednesday, we're bringing you the Pirate game, so there will be no What's on Your Mind on Wednesday. But I'll be back here Thursday for the extended short show. So 2 to 4 on Thursday, What's on Your Mind. So letting you know that. So this will be an ongoing question for that. Final four, who of the four, Illinois, UConn, Michigan, Arizona, which of those four is going to be the ultimate winner of the NCAA Men's Basketball Championship? Pirates off to a 1-2 start. Paul Skeens didn't even get out of the first inning. Is that a concern for you, or is that hey, everybody's entitled to a bad day every now and then and not worried about it? I'm not sure when he's scheduled to start again. Probably in the next 3 games, I would think, against the Reds, unless they hold him back for opening day here in Pittsburgh. I don't know. It's possible, I suppose, but we'll see. So, we'll take it from there. I had also mentioned how Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent is asking if you know of fraud, government money being misspent, not being used in the way it was prescribed. If you know about it, report it. And if the government finds it credible and is able to recover lost funds, you can get upwards of 30% of what they are able to recover. So, yes, no, would you? Would you do that? I would. Heck yeah, I would. But would you? So, you work for an organization, or your spouse does, and you know about it. I think, and I don't know how the process works. I honestly don't. I'm sure you would have to give up some kind of information that they're looking for, something to kind of at least verify what you're talking about is legitimate. Yes, so-and-so received funds from the U.S. government under this program. It was designed for this. It's being used for that instead. That type of thing. So what all goes into the I don't know. But would you, if you had the opportunity? What do you think? So 724-438-4593. And also, I mentioned the Chick-fil-A, and I'm wondering if other Chick-fil-A's will start this across the country. But in Towson, Maryland, a particular Chick-fil-A, if you put your cell phones in a basket on your table while you're eating with your family, and if nobody uses their phone during that time, everybody at the table gets a free ice cream cone. I like it. I'm sure it doesn't cost Chick-fil-A that much money. Probably, a quarter, maybe a little bit more per cone. And I wonder if it'll catch on across the country at other Chick-fil-A's. What do you think? The idea, would you take them up on the offer? Well, hey, that just about does it for today's show. I'll be back here again tomorrow. We'll do some more open conversation on the WVU Medicine Uniontown Hospital talk line, 724-438-4593. CBS News is coming up next. News from around the world, around the country. TJ's off to cover a softball game, so Bill is in here to do the news. He'll bring you the local stuff. This is WMBS Uniontown. It's 3 o'clock.
This is CBS News on the Hour, your home for original reporting. I'm Jennifer Kuiper. The U.S. now has hundreds of special operations forces in the Middle East as President Trump threatens to take oil in Iran. CBS's Eleanor Watson.
Thousands of Marines arrived in the region over the weekend, and we reported this morning that hundreds of special operations forces are now there too, with more U.S. troops on the way. This is all to give the president options if negotiations fail. Those options could include things like reopening the Strait of Hormuz, seizing the highly enriched uranium from deep inside Iranian territory, or capturing Karg Island.
Iran has warned that it is waiting for the arrival of U.S. forces to, quote, set them on fire and punish their regional partners forever. President Trump has signed an executive order. It happened last week to pay the TSA officers, and some have come back to work after receiving their checks. But White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt says Congress needs to come back from recess and do its job.
Nothing will be truly normal again until Democrats do the right thing to fund this agency fully.
Democratic Senator Chris Coons of Delaware.
We want reforms to how ICE and Border Patrol are conducting immigration enforcement actions, and we've negotiated about that. Ultimately, Senate Majority Leader Thune decided, nope, we're not going to do that.
A deadly shooting at a Texas school today. CBS's Heather Bosch.
The Como County Sheriff's Office says a student shot a teacher and then shot himself at Hill County College Preparatory High School in Bulverde. The 15-year-old boy died at the scene. The teacher was rushed to a hospital in San Antonio, about 25 miles north. No word on her condition. The school was put on lockdown and the students transported to a middle school to be reunited with their families. Heather Bosch, CBS News.
The Artemis II rocket launches into space this week for the first lunar mission in over 5 decades. The astronauts will not land on the moon, but fly by at a distance no human has ever traveled from Earth. CBS's Mark Strassman in Florida.
NASA will begin its official countdown clock later this afternoon. Just one more sign that this is starting to feel real around here. Yeah. And at some point, that you're going to see a very different energy level here at Kennedy Space Center.
The countdown clock is set to start at 4:44 p.m. Eastern Time. Streaming revenue is rising. CBS's Matt Wolf.
A new report from Amper Analysis shows streaming subscriptions globally hit $157 billion in revenue last year. That figure is triple from 2020 with $60 billion. Amper says it's the result of price increases and ad-supported tiers, not just subscriber growth. They're also predicting this will explode to $202 billion by 2030.
Stocks closed mixed. This is CBS News.
The stars shine brighter on CBS Morning.
This is a slam dunk.
So cute.
Carol came in singing for me today.
On CBS Mornings.
You can go to Big Box Medical Office.
Now serving number 3,943.
Or
Hi, come on in. How are you?
for personal, professional health care you can trust. See Dr. Paul Hardley and nurse practitioners Tara Bozek, Jessica Reckhart, and Stacy Morris. Proudly serving our community for over 30 years. Need care today? Walk-ins are always welcome. For your primary care, call Dr. Paul Hartley at 724-437-1109 or visit ppcp.org. Or
serving number 3,944.
If you are looking for a trusted local law firm with a strong commitment to their clients, look no further than Zebley Law Offices. Attorney Zebley has been practicing law in Fayette County for more than 4 decades. Although specializing in bankruptcy, Zebley also handles real estate matters, civil suits, collections, wills, powers of attorney, and more. If you need legal help, go with a name you recognize and trust. Call Zebley Law Offices today at 724-439-9200.
Line exec is hanging up his hat. CBS's Vicki Barker at the foreign desk explains why.
After 2 Air Canada Express pilots were killed in that crash at LaGuardia Airport last week, this is the video that apparently sealed Michael Rousseau's professional fate.
Our deepest condolences go out.
Air Canada's chief executive speaking English only, despite Canada having 2 official languages, despite the fact that one of the pilots killed was a French speaker. Now Air Canada has announced Rousseau will retire later this year. That announcement made in English and French. Vicki Barker, CBS News.
Project Hail Mary stayed aloft in its second weekend, holding strongly with $54.5 million, adding to the long-term prospects of the year's biggest hit so far. Project Hail Mary has grossed $300 million worldwide in 2 weeks. Weekend's top new release, They Will Kill You, debuted with a disappointing $5 million. Jennifer Kuiper, CBS News.
The award-winning local, district, and statewide news is being brought to you by Duck Hollow Golf Club and Bogey's Restaurant, conveniently located on Duck Hollow Road, just off Route 40 or New Salem Road. Call 724-439-3150 for tea times or restaurant information. And now the news.
Welcome to Davis & Davis Attorneys at Law Studios at your local station. Find out County's best law firm 2025. Good afternoon. It's 3:05. It is 67 and partly cloudy. The weather watch is coming up. But first, the local, district, and statewide news as the United States enters its fifth week in the war with Iran. Gas prices are surging across Pennsylvania and the United States. According to AAA, gas prices are currently at $3.94 a gallon in the state. In Fayette, Westmoreland counties, gas is averaging $3.95 a gallon. In Greene County, it's $4.01. In Pittsburgh, it's $3.96. The national average is now at $3.99 a gallon. Fayette County District Attorney sharing a warning over alleged attempts to keep students from discussing the recent arrest of two teachers accused of sex crimes at Laurel Highlands High School. DA Mike Arble says his office has received reports that students have been told not to talk about the allegations, and they may have been threatened with suspensions if they do. Arble tells KDKA television he's not yet sure whether those reports are accurate, but if they are, those actions are, quote, unacceptable. The DA sharing a post on Facebook over the weekend saying intimidation of a victim or witness is a crime, and if there is evidence showing staff members have done that, they will be prosecuted. No Kings protest drew big crowds all across western Pennsylvania. In Uniontown, several hundred showed up Saturday in George C. Marshall Park. The protest in Greensburg drew over 3,500 to the Westmoreland County Courthouse. Over 3,000 protests went on across the country over the past weekend. State police will be out in full force on the Pennsylvania Turnpike next month. Turnpike Commission says that troopers will be cracking down on aggressive driving and people driving with suspended registration because they haven't paid their tolls. Vehicles are referred for registration suspension if they have at least $250 in unpaid tolls and fees or 4 unpaid toll by plate invoices. State police say they're committed to keeping Pennsylvania roadways safe and ensuring every driver follows the law. Pope Leo took issue with warmongers during his Palm Sunday homily. Michael Kastner reports.
The first U.S.-born pope said that God does not listen to the prayers of those who wage war, but rejects them.
Questo è il nostro Dio, Gesù, Re della Pace.
It was his first Palm Sunday Mass in St. Peter's Square, and tens of thousands of people were in attendance. The comments come as the U.S.-Israeli war on Iran enters its second month, and Russia's now years-long war against Ukraine continues. Pope Leo said that he was especially praying for Christians in the Middle East who are suffering the consequences of an atrocious conflict. I'm Michael Kastner.
WNBS time is 3:08. Sports and weather coming up.
Spring is in full swing at Bogey's Restaurant and Sports Bar at the scenic Duck Hollow Golf Course. Stop by and celebrate their spring grand opening with daily food and drink specials you won't want to miss. Grab a drink, dig into some of Bogey's amazing food, and unwind with friends at Uniontown's newest hotspot. It's the perfect place to relax after a round of golf, enjoy a night out, or just catch up with friends. NASCAR fans, be sure to join us for Sunday races, all shown on one of Bogey's 8 TVs, making every race day exciting. With warmer days on the way, it's time to start planning for the 2026 golf season at Duck Hollow Golf Course. Visit duckhollowgc.com to sign up for the newsletter and stay up to date on upcoming events, leagues, and season updates. Bogey's welcomes you at 374 Duck Hollow Road, Uniontown, or call 724-439-3150 for more information. Bogey's Restaurant and Sports Bar, where good times are always on par.
WNBS time, 3:09. In sports, Penguins back on the ice tonight. The team faces off against Anders leading the Islanders From Elmont, the Pens are tied with Columbus for third place in the Metro. Our coverage of the game starts at 7. And the Pirates, after edging the Mets 4-3 in 10 innings to salvage their 3-game series, now head to Cincinnati to take on the Reds. Braxton Ashcraft is expected to be on the mound for the Bucks. Chase Burns for the Reds. WNBS time is 3:10, and the Weather Watch, mostly cloudy with rain tonight and a chance of thunderstorms, low 59. Mostly cloudy tomorrow with rain early, becoming partly sunny later with a high of 78. Then mostly cloudy with a chance of rain after midnight tomorrow night, low 61. Rain and a chance of thunderstorms Wednesday, high 75. Mostly cloudy with rain Thursday, high WNBS. The Lincoln Radio Journal is next.
The award-winning local, district, and statewide news has been brought to you by Duck Hollow Golf Club and Bogey's Restaurant. Call 724-439-3150 for tee times or restaurant information today.
This weather report being brought to you by Montgomery Medical. Trust their 50 years of combined experience for the best results in primary care, newborns to elderly, minor illness or injury, as well as wellness and physical exams. And now the weather.
And taking a look at the extended forecast, we expect rain to take us into the weekend on Friday. The high will hit 62, then back to abnormally high temperatures Saturday. It'll be mostly cloudy with rain and a high of 71. Again, it's 67 and mostly cloudy.
This weather report was brought to you by Montgomery Medical, a family tradition of family medicine. Same-day appointments available for acute care. Call 724-569-8100 or visit montibed.com to schedule your appointment.
Uniontown Liquidation Outlet wants to thank you for borrowing our special pay at 2025. Come shop with us for the lowest prices around. We have toys, home goods, tools, electronics, and much more. We offer layaway, so stop in today and ask us how it works. We are located inside the Uniontown Mall.
The Uniontown Liquidation Outlet. Visit us on Facebook, Uniontown Liquidation Outlet.
Hope to see you soon.
Get ready, there's a new Italian favorite at Live Casino. Introducing Mangia, featuring DiLallo, opening April 9th. Part market, part cafe, Mangia offers delicious, quick-served, authentic Italian cuisine made with the finest ingredients. Featuring pasta, hoagies, pizza, salads, gelato, cocktails, espresso, and a retail shop featuring DiLallo brand favorites. Mangia, featuring DiLallo, opening April 9th at Live Casino, Route 30 at Westmoreland Mall. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Go to Ford of Uniontown and trade me in!
It's Dominic Carbone with Jessica Caringla with your 7-time President Award-winning Ford of Uniontown. Truck Month is on the horizon, and we're kicking this thing off with a bang. Running all the way to the end of March, and we're talking massive savings.
How massive?
Well, I'm glad you asked. Take up to $8,000 off select F-150s, or $6,000 off with interest rates at 2.9 for 60 months, 3.9 for 72, and only 4.9 for 84 months.
And that's not all. We got deals on Super Duties, Mavericks, and Rangers. Just stop, click, or call for details. Here at Ford of Uniontown, our commitment is to make sure you have the best experience, not only buying a vehicle, but getting it serviced as well. That's why we offer online maintenance appointments and free pickup and delivery.
Your truck knows, shouldn't you? That's Ford of Uniontown on the hill across from Applebee's. 724-425-5980 or FordofUniontown.com.
Price excludes taxes and transfer fees, must finance with Ford Credit, and not all buyers will qualify.
Experiencing symptoms of COPD? Frontier Clinical Research in Scottsdale has been selected to conduct a clinical research study, and participants are needed. All study-related care will be provided at no cost, and no health insurance is required. Compensation up to $2,200 for qualified participants for time and travel. To learn more, call Frontier Clinical Research in Scottsdale at 724-220-5281. That's Frontier Clinical Research in Scottsdale at 724-220-5281.
Spring flowers are right around the corner, and so is prom season at Patty's Bridal. We have a prom sale you won't want to miss. All prom dresses are 50% off. That's right, not 10 or 20%, 50%. Every single prom dress at Patty's, located at the Uniontown Mall, is marked down now. Don't wait, as they will go fast. Find the dress that will make your prom night magical at Patty's Bridal, open daily from 11 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. or call at 724-439-1168.
The following program was recorded for playback at this time. The opinions expressed are those of the host and the guest, and not necessarily those of WMBS Radio.
From Johnstown to Philadelphia, Reading to Jeanette, this is Lincoln Radio Journal. On this edition, State House Democrats have formally introduced Governor Josh Shapiro's deficit spending budget. David Taylor from the Pennsylvania Manufacturers Association is joined by Stephen Bloom of the Commonwealth Foundation for a Capitol Watch discussion. And the legacy news media is continuing its assault on Christians serving in public office. I'll have a town hall commentary. I'm Loman Henry, and welcome to Lincoln Radio Journal. We'll get to our Capitol Watch crew in just a couple of minutes, but first, news headlines from PATownhall.com. 2 vacant seats in the Pennsylvania House of Representatives were filled by special elections last week, but now there will be a new vacancy. State Representative Stephanie Scialaba of Butler County announced she will resign her seat effective March 31st. She was already not seeking re-election to the seat, saying serving in the legislature while raising a family had proven difficult, and while she enjoyed public service, her child was beginning school and she wanted to focus on family. No word yet on whether a special election will be held to fill the seat or whether it will remain open until filled during the November general election. A special election will be held in conjunction with the May primary to fill an open seat in York County. Both districts have been held by Republicans and lean heavily Republican. Josh Shapiro is simultaneously running for re-election and for the 2028 Democratic presidential nomination. Nationwide, he is mired near the bottom of polls, which show California Governor Gavin Newsom and former Vice President Kamala Harris as the front runners. According to a recent Emerson poll, Shapiro enjoys the highest net favorability rating among all voters compared to the other potential candidates. However, his net favorability among Democrat voters lags behind the others. That is important because only Democrat voters pick the Democrat presidential nominee. Targeting the affordability issue, State House Republicans have launched their Freedom Through Affordability initiative, which is, quote, a targeted effort to lower costs and push back against policies driving the cost of living increases across the Commonwealth, end quote. The initiative was announced during a news conference held by House Republican Policy Chairman David Rowe. The soon-to-be defunct Pittsburgh Post-Gazette reports Next Era Energy and Exelon Corp are planning to build an, quote, extra high-voltage transmission superhighway across 10 counties in southwestern and central Pennsylvania. The new transmission line is intended in large part to meet projected electricity demands for data centers in the eastern half of the state. The line would enable the importation of power into Pennsylvania from plants in Ohio, Illinois, and other states. Read about all things Pennsylvania at PATownhall.com. State House Democrats have officially proposed a 2026-27 state budget that spends more than $5 billion more than expected revenue. It is dead on arrival in the state Senate. David Taylor from the Pennsylvania Manufacturers Association and Stephen Bloom of the Commonwealth Foundation have a Capitol Watch update. David?
And welcome once again to Capitol Watch, where we keep an eye on what's happening under the Capitol Dome in Harrisburg for you. I'm your host, David Taylor, President and CEO of the Pennsylvania Manufacturers Association. With me today in the studio, my main man, Steve Bloom, Vice President of the Commonwealth Foundation. Steve, how are you doing?
I'm doing well, and I'm glad to be here with you, David.
Well, it's great to be together. Our friend and other regular Rebecca Euler from the Pennsylvania Motor Truck Association couldn't be with us today, so you and I will do the heavy lift ourselves. So the listeners who've been following the program, they've heard us talk about, since the governor's budget address, and certainly going well before that, talking about the Commonwealth's fiscal condition, talking about the budgetary challenges that Harrisburg faces, and then, of course, the development this year with the governor wanting to spend even more. And so just for a baseline, Steve, let's go back. Last year's budget spent all of the reserves. There's nothing left.
The legislative reserves,
yes,
correct.
The cupboards are bare, and that was to take state spending up to about $50 billion, a little bit over. Actual revenues that came in to the Commonwealth, about $46 billion. And so in February, that Governor Shapiro called for spending in the new budget of $53 billion. So we didn't increase the revenue to the Commonwealth. I mean, the governor put a couple of things in there that he says will bring in money. We can talk about that. But I don't know. Is it just me, or when you're in a hole, you should stop digging?
Well, that's exactly the problem. It seems like the response of the administration has been keep digging.
Right.
And they've been almost brazen about it at times, suggesting more revenue from certain potential revenue sources this cycle than last cycle. For example, the legalized marijuana idea, one that the governor has to enhance revenue, and there was no bill that was likely to pass last session to make selling marijuana legal in Pennsylvania for recreational purposes. Now this year, they've decided that they can raise even more than they raised last year, and so they put a higher number with that revenue source. And they've documented various different revenue sources, and some of them were coming up goose eggs last cycle, and again in real life will, but somehow in the budgetary math they won't. And because they're not there, you have this important problem that we call a structural deficit.
Right.
And the structural deficit means that in simple terms, the spending is far outpacing the revenue.
Right. So the increase in mandatory spending on social programs, and these are promises that the Commonwealth has made, in particular to our senior citizens, that because
what the phone number is, and I'll get back to you on that.
That cohort of older folks is growing, in particular to our senior citizens beyond their working
what
years.
the phone number is, and I'll get back to you.
Income paying taxes, people who themselves often require taxpayer-funded services. At the same time, Pennsylvania doesn't have enough of the younger folks who are still building their careers in that working period where they're paying taxes, and so we don't have enough income to pay for state government at its current scale. And so I would think that a responsible decision makers would be focused on, okay, where can we pare back? How can we get more out of the dollars that are already being spent? And what can we do to encourage the economy to grow? It seems like those topics really haven't been at the top of the conversation.
Yeah, and that one is very important, the whole demographics situation that our state faces, which feeds into the long-term economic crisis we have. And so when you ignore those things, they do come back to bite you. And so you can't just move on and act like it's okay that the revenue didn't come in last year or this year. You see that for example, in Pennsylvania, our independent fiscal office has obviously their job. There's their nonpartisan state organization that's job is to understand, count the money, and the revenues and all those sorts of things with all the most sophisticated tools. And they've determined that there's a budgetary structural deficit in the neighborhood of $6 billion. That's got to be paid somehow. As you mentioned, the reserves are gone.
Right.
There are a few targets out there of other areas that there's money saved, but it's primarily in the area of our state's rainy day fund.
Right, which is the emergency fund.
Emergency for economic disasters and those sorts of scenarios, which we're not in yet, thankfully.
Well, yeah, but the trajectory that we're on, that if we would spend $53 billion when we only have maybe $47 billion coming in, and we take that out of the rainy day fund, that not only have we've done a couple of bad things at once. We've expanded the spending baseline, which of course then is the amount that everybody else expects for the following year. So that makes the shortfall bigger. We have also depleted the emergency reserves, which leaves the Commonwealth less secure if something bad really happens. And then beyond that, because we've taken the reserves down so low that the Commonwealth's bond rating would drop, which would then make borrowing more expensive, which would also increase, again, obligations on the Commonwealth. It's like buying your groceries with a credit card. You're going to hit the wall.
And interestingly, in the legislative chamber this week, the House of Representatives, which is controlled by a slim Democratic majority, enacted a new higher minimum wage. Right. They voted to enact it. It would have to now go over to the state Senate and ultimately to the governor for his signature. But just the idea that if you look at the revenue calculations, part of the increased revenue that the governor is claiming in this budget proposal is that more money will come into the state's coffers because the minimum wage has been raised, which therefore means that certain workers are earning a little bit more money, and that's going to generate enough tax revenue to actually improve the budget. So magically, you can spend money essentially as if it's going to somehow lift us out of poverty.
Right.
But is that going to work? I don't think so.
No, because the conceit is that everyone will get paid at the higher rate, failing to recognize that raising the mandated wage rate doesn't give employers any more money to pay people with. And so as a result, you have workers in those entry-level jobs. You have hiring is delayed for sure, if not just like frozen. The hours for existing workers are reduced, and probably some positions are eliminated. So yeah, the rate might go up, but it's not going to go in your pocket because your hours are going to get cut or your position's going to go away.
And that's just the absurdity of some of the manners and concepts of how we can improve our financial situation as enacted, or at least, or passed by a majority in the democratically controlled House. We, in Pennsylvania, we have a state Senate, which has got a margin of majority for the Republicans.
Yeah.
And they've been standing firm against a lot of bad ideas over the last cycle, and they're going to be in a position to have to do that again because, again, the Democratic House is demonstrating that it's willing to do all sorts of things that aren't fiscally responsible and yet somehow claim to be improving our economic conditions.
Yeah, this is not the right conversation to be having because it's, I guess at a certain level, it's just dishonest. But there was something else that happened recently that I wanted to mention in this context, Steve, which is that it was at the Pennsylvania Press Club over at it's held here in Harrisburg, and that the speaker was the leader of the Hospital and Health System Association of Pennsylvania, HAP. And the leader was talking about the hurt that many of our rural and smaller town hospitals are experiencing, and talking about how that directly affects quality of life in that community if healthcare services aren't available, how that is a negative trend that then feeds on itself, where it becomes more difficult for businesses to hire new people to come into that area because folks won't want to go because the services aren't available, and talking about this as an after effect of communities that have lost their factories. And of course, this goes straight to me as an advocate for manufacturing. It isn't just the money that's made by a manufacturing business. It's about wages and benefits and the quality of life for our employees, because manufacturing adds the most value. We have the best wages and benefits for our employees. And so you're talking about families sustaining jobs. You're also talking about our manufacturers being significant local taxpayers, upholding the local tax base and the quality of municipal services. That this is why we have to fight for our manufacturing jobs to maintain the quality of life in our communities, because when things start going bad, it, as I mentioned, it kind of feeds on itself.
It was kind of sad to hear some of the stories that the president of HAP was discussing at the press club event. And you look at places that they're losing their most qualified doctors, nurses, other medical specialists, because they are obviously in high economic demand, and they can command good benefits and good salaries and pleasant working conditions if they wish to. And many of them do. They're looking for the place that's good for them and their family to live and to practice medicine or whatever they're practicing in their particular profession. And we're losing those people from rural Pennsylvania. And it's tearing apart the fabric of the community. If you, for example, she described the absence of prenatal care and actual birth care.
and delivering babies.
So there aren't doctors there to do that, and they have to drive some 70 miles sometimes to get to the nearest doctor, where there's any obstetric services.
For mothers who are in labor.
And so that's not just a thing that happens around pregnancy. That's just one example.
Of course.
So a lot of our areas are losing their specialists, their most qualified medical folk who love their community, but they have to do what's best for them and their families. Right. And if we're setting up a system that punishes them somehow for coming to Pennsylvania and they can do better economically in Ohio or North Carolina or Florida or Texas, like anyone else, they will go to where they can make the biggest difference, but also they're seeking a quality life.
And I want to take this back a couple of steps back to the budget, because this to the listeners, this may kind of sound like rambling, but these are all very closely related. I would argue that one of the main problems that we have in Pennsylvania is that Harrisburg spends money faster than people can earn it. And this has been a problem that we have had here in the Commonwealth for years and years, decades and decades, governors and legislatures of both parties, and that when government spends money faster than the private sector can create it, it suffocates growth. And that this is why Pennsylvania, year after year, only ever grows, our economy only ever grows at some fraction of the national average. And, you know, Steve, just as you were saying, people go where the opportunities are. And so if the opportunities are more plentiful and more promising somewhere else, that's where people go. You see that happening right now with Florida, with the major changes that have been made there. The economy is booming, and that's where people go. And it's not just the weather. People are leaving California. People are leaving Hawaii. The weather's really nice there too. But it's about the decisions that get made at the level of state government on how are we going to be stewards of the taxpayers' dollars? What are we going to do to build a pro-growth environment where private sector investment will choose to come? Because all these decisions are voluntary. And so, again, the chronic overspending causes a structural problem with slower growth, which then leads to fewer folks staying and more people leaving, and that is what drives our demographic crisis, which has now left us where we are with the structural deficit because of more older folks beyond their working years and too few younger folks to carry the freight. You're listening to Capital Watch. I'm your host, David Taylor from Pennsylvania Manufacturers. With me, Steve Bloom from Commonwealth Foundation.
And so if we sort of take a step back and think about all this, it comes down to specifics, things that aren't that exciting to talk about.
Right.
It comes down to recognizing that we have an outflow of people from Pennsylvania that has been driven by a demographic cycle that many generations now of Pennsylvania politicians and leaders have kind of ignored. Every 10 years when the decennial census is completed and the new congressional districts are drawn, every time we lose one. In our lifetimes, every time we've been losing a representative. And so some other state just got more political clout and we got less, which means the piece of the federal government pie that our citizens are relying on is getting smaller.
Yeah, we become less relevant to the larger national conversation.
And so we've got to wake up to that, and it's been documented, and there's been all sorts of surveys done and polling done. People really do move away because of taxes or move to a place with lower taxes. They appreciate that. They appreciate places where laws and regulations are reasonable and not onerous. And they move to places where that becomes prominent. We've seen this brain drain here in Pennsylvania now, as I said, for at least a half a century.
Right.
Probably more than that. I don't know how far it goes back, but
well, at least the Second World War. At least the 1950s.
So probably 6 or 7 cycles.
Right.
And it's almost as if we're ignoring it.
And this is why, again, you would want to accentuate the positive. Everybody would like to believe that things are okay. I wish I could say honestly that they are okay. There are plenty of positive opportunities. Pennsylvania retains some really significant strengths when it comes to our geography, our access to market, our amazing natural resources, our infrastructure, our institutions of finance, and our institutions of higher learning. Like, all of those things are really amazing. But because we have not had a leadership class that has made a pro-growth, pro-production agenda the top priority, they're more concerned about taking than making, that this is how, by degrees, we have fallen behind. And again, this is what makes me, I don't know what the other word is, like, it makes me angry when you see the governor putting forward a budget that is going to burn through the rainy day fund so that our emergency funds are depleted, that it's going to tank our bond rating, and it's going to set us up for really significant tax increases on everybody. It's not just going to fall on high earners or business or whoever. Like, this is where you have to tax everybody.
The spending level we're talking about with the structural deficit we have is going to mean, within the very short time, within several legislative cycles, drastic increases in spending, which is going to force families to pay ultimately much higher taxes to fill that gap. And we're talking about, for an average family of four, something on the order of $2,000, $2,100 per year per family of four,
year from now
because
on.
of the decisions that are about to be implemented by this budget, if in fact the legislature doesn't kind of wake up and engage in the battle on behalf of the folks they represent.
And Governor Shapiro has his well-oiled, taxpayer-funded PR machine, and he's kind of a Pied Piper that everybody thinks well of him, and he gets stuff done, so he says. But that reputation, that aura, does not track with the facts on the ground. And again, even though it will probably not be terribly popular or sexy, holding the line on fiscal responsibility is what is called for at this moment, and I hope enough of our leaders will hold the line and stand up for that and make the case and say, no, we can't have it all right here, right now. So much more to say, but we're out of time. Steve, where can people go to learn more about you and your organization and the work that you do?
They can visit commonwealthfoundation.org on the internet.
Outstanding. And as ever, you can find me online at pamanufacturers.org. And from Steve and me, thanks to all of you for listening. We will catch you next time on Capitol Watch. And now, a town hall commentary from Loman Henry.
The Associated Press, which has completely abandoned any pretense of journalistic objectivity, recently produced a hit piece on Secretary of War Pete Hegseth, his transgression, publicly professing his Christian faith. It is important to understand that the legacy news media has become blatantly anti-Christian. It defends radical Islam, but tolerates, even excuses, anti-Semitism, and portrays Christians as a threat to democracy, keeping in mind anything departing from left-wing ideology is a threat to democracy. The theme of the AP article is that Secretary Hegseth's frequent invocation of his Christian faith and values somehow impact the current military operation against Iran. This is ominous, according to the article, because Iran is an Islamic theocracy, thus implying that the offensive against Iran is something of a holy war. This, of course, is not true. The Trump administration has been crystal clear from day one about the reasons for and the goals of the military action: destruction of Iran's capacity to build nuclear weapons, elimination of its ability to threaten neighboring states with offensive weapons, and creation of a climate in which Iranians can bring about regime change. AP posits that Hegseth's Christian faith and public utterances thereof has come under, quote, renewed scrutiny because of the current military action. However, the renewed scrutiny has come from Associated Press itself, which reached out to several anti-Christian left-wing groups for comment. The author of the article even admitted that the AP could not verify some of the claims made in those comments, but saw fit to include them in the piece anyhow. Were the Associated Press practicing actual journalism, the assertions of those groups would have been balanced by quotes from those who understand that action against Iran is not an assault on Islam, but neutering of a brutal regime that has killed hundreds of Americans, suborned terrorism throughout the region, and as recently as last week hung in the public square a teenage wrestler who did not toe the party line. None of this should be surprising. The American left, of which Associated Press and the rapidly declining legacy news media are part, has been engaged in an all-out assault on Christians and Jews for decades. The reason is straight out of the communist playbook. Replace the worship of God with the worship of the state. Since Christian values are antithetical to the policy goals of the left, it seeks to erase Christian influence from public policy. Thus, they frequently wield the phrase, separation of church and state, against any public official who dares to bring religion into the public square. The Second Amendment to the U.S. Constitution demands no such separation. The clause is not a separation clause, rather it is an establishment clause. The government is prohibited from establishing a state religion, such as that which existed in England during the time of the Constitution's framing. In fact, the amendment provides for just the opposite, saying government cannot prohibit the free expression thereof. To the dismay of the left, Christians have refused to leave the rhetorical playing field, nor stop allowing biblical values to influence public policy. Such values played an important role in the nation's founding and have guided policy throughout the ensuing generations. A friend of mine recently posed the question on Facebook, is America a Christian nation? My response was, yes, America is a Christian nation that welcomes and supports the inherent rights of all religions. Members of the Trump administration, from Vice President Vance on down, have been more outspoken about their religious values than previous high-profile officials. That is reflective of the center-right coalition of voters that put President Donald Trump into office. The left derides this as Christian nationalism. But for the vast majority of Americans, both faith and patriotism are central to their identity. The legacy news media has been sliding toward extinction for some time now. From the recent decision by CBS News to shutter its iconic radio network, to staff reductions at the Washington Post and other major newspapers, to the pending closure of Pittsburgh's Post-Gazette, the legacy media is operating on an economic business model that no longer works. That most, if not all of those platforms have abandoned impartial journalism to become de facto house organs of the left has only hastened it to their demise by alienating readers who just want old-fashioned, unbiased reporting. The recent hit piece on Secretary Hegseth and his faith is emblematic of the left's bias. Associated Press should be careful lest it follow CBS Radio into the dustbin of history. With the Town Hall Commentary, I'm Loman Henry. If you miss hearing Lincoln Radio Journal on your favorite radio station, audio of our complete program is available on our websites, lincolnradiojournal.com and lincolninstitute.org. The 2026 Pennsylvania Leadership Conference is coming up in less than 2 weeks. The Pennsylvania Leadership Conference is the premier grassroots activist event of the year. This year's Pennsylvania Leadership Conference will be held April 9th through 11th at the Penn Harris Convention Center in Camp Hill. This year's featured dinner speaker will be Chris Ruddy, the founder and CEO of the Newsmax Cable Television Network. Washington Examiner columnist and Fox News contributor Joe Concha will be the conference luncheon speaker. They will be joined by a wide array of speakers, panel presentations, and an expanded menu of workshops. Complete information and registration for the 2026 Pennsylvania Leadership Conference is now available at paleadershipconference.org. Join us for the conservative event of the year, the 2026 Pennsylvania Leadership Conference. Again, registration is available at paleadershipconference.org. The Lincoln Radio Journal is produced weekly by the Lincoln Institute of Public Opinion Research, Incorporated. The Lincoln Institute is completely funded through the generosity of individuals, corporations, and philanthropic foundations, including the Pennsylvania Manufacturers Association, the Allegheny Foundation of Pittsburgh, and the Houston Foundation of Coatesville, all of whom have helped to underwrite the cost of this program. Lincoln Radio Journal is a trademark of the Lincoln Institute of Public Opinion Research, Incorporated. Comments and opinions expressed on this program are those of the guest and do not necessarily reflect the views of the Lincoln Institute or of this radio station. From the Frederick W. Anton III Center in Harrisburg, I'm Loman Henry. Thank you for listening to Pennsylvania's most widely broadcast public affairs radio program, Lincoln Radio Journal. Plug into the pulse of Pennsylvania.
The preceding program was recorded for playback at this time, and the opinions expressed are those of the host and the guest and not necessarily those of WMBS Radio. WMBS time is 3:45. It's going to be mostly cloudy with rain tonight. Could see some thunderstorms and an overnight low of 59. Mostly cloudy with rain early tomorrow, then becoming partly sunny later with a high of 78. Mostly cloudy with a chance of rain after midnight Tuesday night, a low of 61. Rain and a chance of thunderstorms Wednesday, and the high should hit 75. Mostly cloudy with rain on Thursday, high of 78. More rain Friday and Saturday, the high Friday 62 and up to 71 on Saturday. It's 67, and it is partly to mostly cloudy at your local station, WMBS.
The views and opinions presented by the host, guests, or callers on this program do not necessarily represent the positions of WMBS Radio.
While the storm clouds gather
It is time for Catherine's Golden Diamond Review, brought to you each Tuesday and Thursday morning at 9:40 a.m. and Monday afternoons at 3:45 by Catherine's Jewelry, 127 East Crawford Avenue in Connellsville. And joining us for today's program from Catherine's Jewelry, Joe Orsolak.
And as promised, here is from Catherine's Jewelry, Joe Orsolak.
Go ahead.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, it's my pleasure to bring you the market report. Well, starting this morning, gold was up about $50 or $60 at $4,581 per troy ounce. Right now, it's drifted down to $4,503 per troy ounce, only up $10.30. Now it's up $14.60 at $4,507 per troy ounce. Silver has had a $2 roller coaster move today, a high of $71.84 and a low of $67.59. Currently trading at $69.95, up 30 cents. We have platinum up $23 at $1,896. Palladium up $1,438. Well, needless to say, the market does indeed change every 5 to 10 seconds. As we're sitting here doing the radio show, it keeps blipping back and forth, up and down, so the market cannot be established at any given time unless you're standing right here at Catherine's. And I'd like to issue a warning for those individuals out there that are going to go to a hotel, a motel, or some type of showroom and what we call the outlaw buyers coming in and searching the area for what we call fish. They're looking for people that don't know any better so that they can buy their product at 1/3 to 1/2 of what we normally pay. Just recently, we had some outlaw buyers come through the area, and one of our clients informed us that they were paying approximately half of what we were paying for certain merchandise. So if you see people lining up to sell their merchandise at some of these outlaw outfits, you're looking at people that haven't taken the time to become a smart shopper, an astute shopper, and their bank account is being taken to the cleaners by these outfits that come through town. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm just giving you a forewarning. If you're going to attend any of these type of markets, they're only offering you 1/3 to 1/2 of what we normally pay. So we have yet to have an exception where the buyer is paid equal to or more than our everyday prices. So by being a smart shopper, an intelligent shopper, make that final stop at Catherine's Jewelry Store, because this market does change every 5 to 10 seconds. Incidentally, well, tomorrow is the end of March. That's the light blue aquamarine gemstone for the month of March. And we'll be entering into April for the diamond month, as well as for some of the Easter celebration items. I do believe we have some 14 karat gold secular items, like a rabbit or perhaps an Easter egg. But we also have a very nice selection of crosses and crucifix items. And I'd like to remind you that we have manufactured and fabricated the 3 crosses on the hill right here in 14 karat gold at very affordable prices. We charge a little bit over and above gold melt for many of the items that we have at Catherine's, whereby the retail trade charges 3 to 5 times the melt product. So it behooves you, and it'll help your bank account if you do make that final stop at Catherine's. So once again, it's been my pleasure to inform you and warn you about transient buyers that come through the area and set up locations at different showrooms looking for gleaning the area of those that don't know any better. If you have a question, don't be afraid to stop by and ask. We'll answer your question for you, and we'll give you the up-to-the-minute price of what we're paying. But just remember, 5 seconds to 10 seconds, the market does change, and you have to take advantage of the market at the time that you're here standing in front of the counter. So, ladies and gentlemen, a forewarning so that you will receive more for your product than most any place else. We may not be at the top of the list all of the time, but we certainly do strive to be in that 90 percentile area. And, of course, we carry a line of fine 14 karat jewelry from our country's finest manufacturers and importers. And for those that are bullion investors or wanting to sell their bullion, we certainly do buy those particular items as well as sell the same items. We make a market both ways. And that is something that, for the most part, your retail trade cannot do because their huge margin of profit is so big that it does not behoove them to buy back any of their merchandise. So, ladies and gentlemen, be smart, be wise, and utilize the services that we provide here at Catherine's, in addition to our repair and manufacturing shop. So it's been my pleasure, once again, to bring these markets to you and a warning about the transient buyers. And we're going to attempt to speak to one of the staff again tomorrow at 9:40 a.m. on the Golden Diamond Review. May God bless America, the current administration, our military, our law enforcement, and our first responders, ICE, and all of those that want to protect America. And may God bless each and every one of you. May God bless the staff at WMBS Radio for the wonderful job that they have done for us over the past 20 to 30 years. So with that, I'll bid you until tomorrow morning at 9:40 a.m. May God bless each and every one of you, and may God bless America. Thank you. And now I'll turn the show over to my co-host.
All right, well, thank you, Joel Orsolak, with Catherine's Golden Diamond Review, brought to you by Catherine's Jewelry, 127 East Crawford Avenue, Connellsville. Shop Catherine's Jewelry for all your gold and diamond needs, and so much more. 724-628-8533. And so we will wrap up the hour with some gold and diamond music. And this is actually a sad tribute with the passing of the second half of this group, your Seals and Crofts, on WMBS and Catherine's Gold and Diamond Review.
Precious stone, part of earth, where heaven is rained on. Makes no difference where you are, day or night time. You're like a shining star. How could I shine without you? It's about you that I am. Whoa, 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 Diamond girl, roaming wild, such a rare thing. Radiant child, I can never find another one like you. Part of me is deep down inside you. Can't you feel the whole world is turning? We are real and we are burning. Hey, diamond girl, now that I found you, well, it's around you that I am. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Seals and Cross on the local station, WMBS Uniontown.
This is CBS News on the Hour, your home for original reporting.
I'm Jennifer Kuiper. New development in the attack at a suburban Detroit synagogue earlier this month involving a man who drove his truck into the building. FBI Special Agent in charge, Jennifer Runyon, announcing,
"We assess this attack to be a Hezbollah-inspired act of terrorism, purposely targeting the Jewish community and the largest Jewish temple in Michigan."
The FBI says 41-year-old Ayman Mohammed Ghazali made a video before the attack threatening to kill people. Runyon adding,
"Although the assailant's attack planning and mobilization to violence began in earnest on March 9th, a review of his online activity since January 2026 revealed a reoccurring search history of pro-Hezbollah news channels, Iranian news channels, and videos about shootouts and bullets."
Ghazali exchanged gunfire with a security guard at Temple Israel in West Bloomfield before fatally shooting himself. No one else was hurt. President Trump threatens Iran's energy resources if a deal to end the war is not reached shortly.
The president is focused on achieving the objectives of Operation Epic Fury.
And while the administration has sent U.S. troops in, White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt said he hasn't made any decisions about using them on the ground.
It's the job of the Pentagon to create maximum optionality for the commander-in-chief.
So when will this war end? She says the president still maintains
4 to 6 weeks estimated timeline for Operation Epic Fury. We're on day 30.
Stacey Lynn, CBS News, the White House.
Oil heads to Cuba, CBS's Reed Cowan.
Word that Mr. Trump has greenlit a Russian tanker's arrival to bring 700,000 barrels of crude oil to Cuba. And there's this development. Mexico's President Claudia Sheinbaum Pardo says her government is also working with Cuba to reactivate oil shipments to that island.
More TSA officers are showing up for work after getting some of the money they're owed after President Trump's signing of an executive order. CBS's Jason Allen in Houston.
We did just check back with another officer that we have talked with over the weekend, and she told us that a direct deposit did hit her account overnight. So she's seen that money this morning. It's not everything that she is expecting from the missed pay over the last 44 days, but it absolutely does help the situation.
Celine Dion says on her birthday that she will be getting the best gift in returning to the stage in Paris following a lengthy hiatus after a rare illness.
I'm so ready to do this. I'm feeling good. I'm strong.
Addressing fans in a video on social media, the 58-year-old Canadian megastar says she will perform 10 shows in the French capital in September and October. Stocks closed mixed on Wall Street. This is CBS News.
Join Adriana Diaz and Kelly O'Grady for the perfect start to your weekend. Ease into your Saturday with CBS Saturday Morning on CBS and streaming on Paramount Plus.
Tune in each Saturday morning from 6 to 7 a.m. right here on WMBS 590 AM and FM 101.1 for Garden Talk Radio. It's the Gardening with Joey and Holly radio show. Topic focused, guests from across the country, and answering your garden questions. Send your questions in now to gardentalkradio@gmail.com or call anytime to 1-800-927-SHOW. That's every Saturday morning from 6 to 7 a.m. right here on WMBS 590 AM and FM 101.1. Catch the replay Monday evenings from 6 to 7 p.m.
When you need notary services, trust the best. Sandy Howell Notary Services, back-to-back gold medal winner for Best Notary in Fayette County. They're here for you with extended hours to fit your schedule. Sandy Howell's also the 2025 gold medal winner for Best Title Company. Open Monday through Friday, 10 to 8:30, and Saturdays, 9 to 5. Call 724-564-8955 today for Sandy Howell Notary Services, where excellence is signed and sealed.
Their dreams turned into nightmares at an event in Broward County, Florida.
Barbie fans say they got ripped off after paying $72 for day passes and $450 for VIP tickets for what was billed as a glittery dream fest in Fort Lauderdale.
That skating rink thing, it's laughable. The interactive dream house is not.
Video footage shows a nearly empty convention floor.
I heard somebody say that they felt fire-fested.
They did get to hear from the WNBA's Angel Reese and tennis great Serena Williams, who won the event's Icon Award.
I don't think an icon has to be someone that's been super successful. It could be your next door neighbor. It could be your mom.
Organizers are promising full refunds. Deborah Rodriguez, CBS News.
The Final Four is set. Illinois will face UConn, and Michigan will take on Arizona next Saturday. with the winners squaring off 2 nights later for the national title. The Arizona-Michigan game is a matchup of top seeds. Jennifer Kuiper, CBS News.
The local district and statewide news is being brought to you by AR Roofing and Remodeling. Call 724-550-3064 or visit arremodels.com for your free estimate. And now to the news.
From the Davis & Davis Attorneys in Law Studios at your local station, 590 AM, 101.1 FM, WMBS, Davis & Davis, Fayette County's personal injury attorneys since 1976. Good evening. It's 4:05. It's 66 and partly to mostly cloudy. The weather watch is coming up, but first, the local district and statewide news. The Fayette County District Attorney warns about alleged attempts to keep students from discussing the recent arrests of 2 teachers accused of sex crimes at Laurel Highlands High School. DA Mike Arbel says his office has received reports students have been told to not talk about the allegations, and they have been threatened with suspensions if they do. Arbel telling KDKA television he's not yet sure whether those reports are accurate, but if they are, those actions are, quote, unacceptable. The DA sharing a post on Facebook over the weekend saying intimidation of a victim or witness is a crime, and if there is evidence showing staff members have done that, then they will be prosecuted. As the U.S. enters week number 5 in the war with Iran, gas prices are surging across Pennsylvania and the United States. According to AAA, gas prices are at $3.94 per gallon in the state, $3.96 in western Pennsylvania. In Fayette and Westmoreland counties, you're averaging $3.95 a gallon. In Greene County, it's up to $4.01. In Pittsburgh, it's $3.96. Nationwide, they're now at $3.99 a gallon. Staying with energy, People's Gas is requesting a rate increase for residents across western Pennsylvania. The company filing a request with the Pennsylvania Public Utility Commission to raise rates by more than $16 per month. People's Gas says the increased revenue is needed to replace aging pipes and decrease greenhouse gas emissions. People's Gas serves more than 700,000 homes in the area, including Fayette and Westmoreland counties. Easter is coming up, and retailers are banking on you shopping before then. Bree Tennis with more.
The National Retail Federation says the average American will drop nearly $200 on a new Easter outfit. This practice of new clothes for Easter comes with historical superstition that claims the new outfit will bring good luck and prosperity, although there's no science to back that. But 51% of us will pick up something new. Blazers and ties for men, hats and dresses for women, and nearly $4 billion to the retail industry. I'm Bree Tennis.
WMBS Times, 4:08. Finally, a new report from the American Kennel Club listing the favorite dog breeds in southwestern Pennsylvania. The AKC analyzed registration statistics from last year to determine the preferred pooches. The Golden Retriever topped the local list, followed by the French Bulldog and the Labrador Retriever. The German Shepherd and Bernese Mountain Dog rounded out the area's top 5. WMBS time is 4:08. Sports and weather next.
Wind, hail, sudden leaks. When your roof takes a beating, we're here for you at AR Roofing and Remodeling. We're a locally and veteran-owned contractor available 24/7 for repairs. As an Owens Corning Platinum Preferred Contractor, we get the job done right. Call 724-550-3064 or visit arremodels.com for your free estimate.
WMBS time is 4:09. In sports, Penguins back on the ice tonight. Team facing off against the Islanders. Pittsburgh's tied with Columbus for the third place in the Metro Division. We'll have the game from Long Island at 7 o'clock tonight on WMBS. Pirates edging the Mets 4-3-10 from the Queens yesterday. From Queens to salvage a 3-game series. Ryan O'Hearn, Henry Davis driving in runs in the extra frame. The Pirates now visit Cincinnati tonight. opening a 3-game set. On the mound for the Pirates, and Braxton Ashcroft is scheduled. Chase Byrne for the Red. The NFL Draft is fast approaching. Round 1 taking place in Pittsburgh April the 23rd. The Steelers have the 21st overall pick, and the team, the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette says that the team expects a decision from Aaron Rodgers before then. We'll see what happens. WMBS time. 4:10, the Weather Watch is
The
next.
local district and statewide news has been brought to you by AR Roofing and Remodeling. Call 724-550-3064 or visit arremodels.com for your free estimate.
This Weather Watch is being brought to you by NovaCare Rehabilitation with same-day appointments and offices in Uniontown and Masontown. NovaCare offers a wide range of orthopedic therapies in addition to specialized treatments such as concussion care, vestibular dysfunction therapies, and LVST Big Parkinson treatment. Visit NovaCare in Uniontown or their new Masontown office. Call 724-437-0556 for Uniontown or 724-491-5220 for Masontown. And now the weather.
It's going to be mostly cloudy tonight with rain and maybe a thunderstorm or two, a low 59. Mostly cloudy with rain early tomorrow, then becoming partly sunny later with a high of 78. Rain and a chance of thunderstorms Wednesday, high 75. More rain Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. The high Thursday, 78. 62 on Friday, 71 on Saturday. It's 66, and it is partly to mostly cloudy. Your local station, WMBS.
This Weather Watch has been brought to you by NovaCare Rehabilitation, where you are the priority. One-on-one sessions ensure your care is specialized to your needs. Whether you suffer from sports injuries or chronic conditions, NovaCare is ready to assist you. For more information on the services available at NovaCare or to schedule an appointment, call 724-437-0556 for the Uniontown office or 724-491-5220 for the Masontown office.
If I hold you for the sake of all those times love made us lose our minds, could I ever let you go? Oh no, we made it, left each other on the way to another love. Looks like we made it.
WMBS.
Here, close to our feelings, we touch again, we love again. Remember when we thought our hearts were never meant, and we're all the better for each other. There's more to love
music you can dress up for, yet still bring home and listen to with Mom.
WMBS, Uniontown.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-8695. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-8695. That's 800-575-8695. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Get ready, there's a new Italian favorite at Live Casino. Introducing Mangia, featuring DeLallo, opening April 9th. Part market, part cafe, Mangia offers delicious, quick-served, authentic Italian cuisine made with the finest ingredients. Featuring pasta, hoagies, pizza, salads, gelato, cocktails, espresso, and a retail shop featuring DeLallo brand favorites. Mangia, featuring DeLallo, opening April 9th at Live Casino, Route 30 at Westmoreland Mall. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Got on board a westbound 747. Didn't think before deciding what to do. Oh, that talk of opportunity, TV breaks and movies rang true. Sure and true. Seems it never rains in Southern California. Seems I've often heard that kind of talk before. It never rains in California. Man, it pours. Out of work, I'm out of my head. Out of self-respect, I'm out of breath. I'm underloved, I'm underfed. I wanna go home. It never rains in California. But girl, give me a break. Give me a break. Seems it never rains in Southern California. Seems I've often heard that kind of talk before.
590 AM, 101.1 FM, WMBS Uniontown.
590 AM, 101.1 FM, WMBS Uniontown.
Just a drop of water in an endless sea. All we do crumbles to the ground, though we refuse to see. Dust in the wind. All we are is dust in the wind.
We take pride in presenting all of this great music in one place.
590 AM, 101.1 FM, WMBS Uniontown.
Why move? Grow into the home you love and transform your space with First Federal of Greene County. They offer home equity loans, home equity lines of credit, and FHA Title I home improvement loans, all to keep your roots planted where you want to be. Visit a loan officer today or lock in your rate before the market heats up and apply online anytime at ffgc.bank. First Federal Savings and Loan Association of Greene County, member FDIC, equal housing lender, NMLS number 458729.
There are over $5.8 million in $100 prizes in the new $100 blowout scratch-off game from the Pennsylvania Lottery. And we at WMBS want to give you a chance to get your hands on some of it. Now, through April 20th, just be the sixth caller to 724-438-4593 when you hear. And you'll win 6 of those $5 tickets. What would you do with an extra $100 today? Benefits older Pennsylvanians every day. Must be 18 or older to play. Please play responsibly.
Chesler's Fine Furniture has teamed up with Craftmaster Upholstery to bring you an exciting new program. You get quality, handcrafted workmanship with hundreds of styles and more than 1,000 fabrics to choose from. And it's all made in the USA. During Chesler's custom order sale, you can select from any of the 25 styles in stock for immediate delivery, or custom order the fabric of your choice, all at sale prices. Choose from traditional, contemporary, and casual. The fabric selection varies from light cottons to heavy textured chenilles. Not only does Craftmaster and Emerald Craft offer choices in mid-range pricing, they build upholstery furniture the old-fashioned way, handcrafted. Come see the large display at Chesler's Fine Furniture today and make your selections. You won't be disappointed. And sofas are sale priced starting at $11.99. Delivery, layaway, and credit terms are available. Chesler's Fine Furniture, Route 51 in Uniontown, where customers send their friends.
Businesses come in all shapes and sizes. Integrity doesn't. For more than a century, the Better Business Bureau has set the standards for how businesses should operate honestly and ethically. So when you're looking for a business you can trust, check to see who's BBB accredited and who isn't. Always choose the Better Business. Look for the BBB seal because it's looking out for you. That's why it's the sign of a better business. And find a better business anytime at bbb.org.
Warm weather means you'll be spending more time outside. So enjoy your deck or patio with retractable or fixed awnings from Lifetime Awnings. Made in the USA with manufacturer and customers guarantees, Lifetime Awnings products last. Lifetime Awnings is veteran-owned and operated with a 10% discount to all military veterans and their families. Call Lifetime Awnings 724-554-6067 or email John, the owner, at lifetimeawningsusa@gmail.com.
590 AM, 101.1 FM, WMBS.
No, I can't forget this evening or your face as you were leaving, but I guess that's just the way the story goes. You always smile, but in your eyes your sorrow shows. Yes, it shows. No, I can't forget tomorrow when I think of all my sorrow. Well, I had you there, but then I let you go. And now it's only fair that I should let you know what you should know. Well, I can't forget this evening or your face as you were leaving, but I guess that's just the way the story goes. You always smile, but in